Beneath a quiet mind, there's a volcano of heart, a windstorm of limbs, a universal womb of starships, all ours. And I want to let my skin get used to the air that follows you, the blessings that cling to your hair, the love that lingers there. So drink these promises from my lips. From spaces so tiny, there's only room for another world inside, safe from our sight, because the angel to your left likes me, and so does the one on your right. She likes my taste in jewels and calls me grandmother and friend. They're blessing us. They say, may all your days be days of awakening and remembering this. My lover's call is alone, a gang of wolves, of donkeys kicking and governments of fish, and feeble minds that split into the pieces they are, only to find one another again. This is what we've done. Find me, chase me, jog the memory of love. Bring me to worlds we've not yet known. I will bring you back to earth.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Wow.
You guessed it, everyone. She's worth 9 figures when Wigarachi kicks it. You guessed it.
I don't even have words for that. So Bon Jovial just said, "Oh my God, Mon, as soon as you get home, you have to download the new intro I did just for tonight."
Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, okay, I won't watch it. And
what? All right.
Yes, Chaka
What
Khan,
did she
shades of
see?
Lily Sobieski 2.0.
What the hell did she see in that basement with Ralph? I mean, it fucked her up so bad.
Well, you know what
That's
that reminds you? You remember the vagina monologues? My
Yes.
vagina.
My vagina.
Howard took her to that at 13.
No.
I swear to God, I almost played a clip on our show of that. Howard, he's trying to be cool dad, and they're sharing custody. So he took Emily to the vagina monologues. I think Deborah might have gone too when they were the teenage.
To be fair, by the time we're 13, we all know we have vaginas. So I think.
Yeah, well,
I think it's
great body.
But still, but then he also was talking about the guys with the hammock sack down in the islands.
All right, we're digressing.
I don't need to hear Sandra Bernard talk about scissoring in the West Village.
Greetings, everyone.
Oh, yes.
Welcome to Tuesday, January 17th. We are, we took off for MLK Day. That's exactly right. And we are back.
Oh, can I say happy Martin Luther King Day to Beanie Mac, Crazy Robin, Frank Zen, Tamara Francois, David C. I apologize if I'm forgetting any of them.
Am I chopped liver?
No, and Monique, of course.
And 13% to Monique.
To quote Kareem Saeed from Oz, shalom alaikum. Shalom alaikum.
Shalom alaikum.
You may ask, why is Monique all done up today? I'm really not all done up. Actually, I changed my clothing before I came down here, but I happened to take some extra special care with my hair because my boys, who are known as the country gays, are here visiting with me. And I just finished having dinner with them over at a beautiful little place on the water. And I drank slightly excessively, even though, I'm not really drinking anymore, but, when in Rome. And I just set them up upstairs with a movie called The Banshees of Inisherin, which, if you haven't seen it, won Golden Globes this year, is one of the most phenomenal movies you will ever see. I'm not even joking. So I set them up with it legally, and and I said, "Sorry, gotta go downstairs and do my show." So that's what I'm doing. That's exactly
Golden Globes.
83% of me should have been working.
I wish my evening was that interesting. I was just at Ivor Owens polishing off a carafe of wine with a beautiful pork chop. So grilled to perfection.
Monique was in the shower with Bill O'Reilly with a loofah. Get a couple of wines there.
Monty pork chop, which is pork chop with hot cherry peppers. And I should give you the recipe, Dennis, because it is one of the most delicious things you'll ever have. I'm not even joking. It's my go-to. It's my go-to thing.
Not like good pork chop.
How culinary are you that? And I say culinary in a double entendre way that you've run out of food options so much that you're making Bumonti pork chops now?
No.
Bored with the
It's one of
regular
those things
menu.
I grew up with, and I
Of course,
decided
boy.
one day that I would teach myself how to make it as good as they do because I can
What
never.
is it? What's in it? What is it?
Okay, so what it is you sear the pork chop on bone for about 3 to 5 minutes each side, and then you take it and you toss it into the oven with about maybe like 2 tablespoons of olive oil done on the bottom, additional, and let them, cook to 165 or whatever pork chops cook to. I'm a big believer on using the thermometer on my meat in the oven. So when you take them out, I usually use the cast iron pan. Take them out. You add let's go with 5 cloves of very, very thinly sliced garlic.
Oh, with the razor blade. Yeah.
I don't use the razor blade, but I have a really
use
good
it.
knife. But yes, like that. 5 cloves of garlic and maybe like a quarter cup of the juice from hot sliced cherry peppers. And then add as many cherry peppers as you can stand to have heat-wise. And with that, maybe about a half a cup of white wine. And you let that all simmer together. Serve it over rice or pasta or whatever. But, your lips will burn. Your lips will burn.
I heard
that's-
you told
that's
your
what
gay
wives-
besties, Monique. You told your gay gay besties you are Jewish by meat thermometer. Is that true?
Jew by injection?
Yeah, instead of Jew by injection.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm so sorry that we preambled. Also, I'm going to say that I've gotten a couple of emails from people over the course of the last 2-3 weeks where they say, you guys, even though I love you guys doing the show, I hate when you either talk about yourselves. I hate when Xavier does fucking whiskers. I hate when Dennis laughs. I hate when John, steps on other people's lines. I hate how much you curse. And you know what? If you hate us that much,
don't fucking listen.
off. I don't even know what to say anymore. And also, I get a lot of, you probably don't even listen to the show anymore. And it's like, dudes, I literally cut 30 to 40 clips every fucking
Today's
day.
show is painful.
Dennis is up first thing in the morning.
I listen to that bullshit.
Making notes and listening to the show. Of course we listen to the show. And guess what? If John or Xavier don't listen to the show, good, because it makes the commentary all the better, because you're just trying to understand what it is he's talking about while we do the job of listening to the show, so you fucking miscreants don't have to. So you can email me all you want about all the shit that you don't like about the show.
Fuck you.
But I don't care. You know
we
what?
could also pre-tape it and do what we always used to do and have no
So-
chat and no.
Oh, we're not begging you to
this
go on
morning-
our Patreon. We're not begging you to do anything that you don't want to do. We do it. See, here. We do it for the love of the fucking game, not for the financial gain. Nobody quit their jobs to be on this podcast.
No.
We just do
It's
it.
a detriment to
because we
me to
like
do this shit.
it. What are you gonna say?
This morning, this show was painful. This was literally the equivalent of a rectal exam. I mean, seriously, this was a rectal exam this morning.
Yeah,
he
I have
had
30 clips. How does that work?
less than, because he literally had diarrhea in the mouth and only had an hour worth of content, and he kept on going for no
it's
apparent
horrible. I have
reason.
clips of that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when he has somebody in for 2 hours and starts talking about, so what are you going to be doing this weekend? And it's like, oh, for the love of God, just
I'm
let
like,
the man
why?
go.
Stop!
Just let the
Please,
man
for
go.
God.
Just let the man go.
You mean you didn't get an extensive NFL wrap up, Dennis, of all those great games, wild card weekend we had?
You wouldn't have known the NFL happened this weekend.
You don't
listening
know.
to this show.
No,
Seriously.
he doesn't
Thank you, Gretchen.
understand football, and as
No.
much as he may say, yes, you're exactly right, Chaka Khan, this may not be the show for you. It may not. Oh yeah, Tamara, go ahead. Be on your way. Be on your way, bitch. Be on your way, Tamara. You know you want to sit here with
Bye,
us.
Tamara.
Listen to us.
So, to Master.
Even though we
Groovin'.
love you, but okay.
No, that's classic Francois sarcasm.
Ida. Woo.
I'd agree, Max.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Greenbacks.
did you notice I sent to both of you, did you notice that who are these podcasters did a Pelican Brief review?
I
sent
saw
it to
that. I
them.
didn't know how to comment on that. I was a little
And neither of you
dumbfounded.
commented back to me. It's just curious to me.
No, when did you
I
send that?
so-
I didn't
I
see
didn't know how
that.
to respond. It's like, well, I guess it's good.
Thank you.
I don't know, as long as we get credit.
I don't know. I didn't listen to it. I didn't care. It doesn't
You
matter.
know,
I
fuck,
just
you
feel
know,
like
more people.
that Shuli and everybody else have literally picked the floor melon off the ground, wiped the hairs off, eaten it. The buffalo is clean. There's nowhere to go with the stuttering fucking moron.
No,
And now they're
there's that thing floating around about some stammering wand thing, and I haven't even watched, nor do I care.
well, you know what? I'll watch it because I have like a prurient interest in seeing everything that happens to John and how much I can hate on him at this point for being such a cunt to me and
He's a cunt.
trolling me and everything that he did. See, but it's easy for everybody else to talk about John being an idiot and John doing stupid things, but none of you have ever had to have the opportunity of having a person troll you, put your phone number online, put your family's information online. And you know what, I never really paid attention to it because what are you gonna do? Trolls are what they are because that's what they do. They want to elicit a response from you. They want you to say something about them, and I don't care. One day, my friends, I promise you, one day when this stupid pelican of a man retires, we will reveal all about all the stupid behind the scenes shit, the Pelican Brief and what we know about it, everything. We will reveal it. I promise you.
After today,
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever coming. Today really solidified. He'll do this till he dies. He'll literally die in that chair.
But he was angry today.
He had nothing. And
Agreed.
that's the best part.
But I think that between Bill O'Reilly and Rogan, I think
Rogan
I talked to him
saying
a
the
little bit.
truth.
It was
Saying
just a
the truth.
little bit of touchiness that made the show. Oh, Nancy, miss you so much. Really, seriously. So yeah, I know we all say that.
Thank you, Nancy.
So I'm not drunk. I had okay. Here's what I had. I had a old fashioned, which I'm very into right now.
So did I, yes, but I had a rye one.
What are you, Martha Ray?
It was a little bit too strong for me. So I asked her if she had. I don't really like brown liquor at all. So I asked her if she had those little delicious cherries that I love. Which, by the way, the ones at Aldi's are not nearly the same as the good ones. Not nearly the same.
They're close, though. The
No, they're
Morello
not.
cherries.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Actually, I went to my favorite hot dog stand, Costco, and I bought the Woodford bourbon cherries, and those are the fucking jam.
Elitist.
They're dense. They're thick. Just delicious. So anyway, so I asked her if they had any of those, and she gave me like a little skewer with like 5 of them. So I would just like bite a little piece of cherry and then drink a little drink and then bite a little cherry and drink. It was just delicious. Okay, so
By the way, Monica switches brand allegiance from Barbados to Kirkland.
That'll never happen. Ever.
Benjamin, brown liquor is my stripper name. That's funny. I like that.
So wait, so everybody's stripper name, as I'm sure everybody knows by now, is the name of your first dog and the street that you lived on. Go.
Oh,
I thought it was like your porn name.
Well,
your middle name and the street you lived on.
No, your dog's first dog's name and the street you lived on.
I'll say mine. It's bizarre. It's Buddy Bell.
Taffy Jackson.
God, what? The Ranger shortstop? The blonde
Buddy
Ranger?
Bell, exactly.
What?
What's yours? Taffy Jackson.
My port is good. This is actually really good. It's perfect. Anthony Sunrise. Tony Sunrise.
I love it.
It's a perfect porn name.
I love that. I
Yep.
love that.
Whoa, Gretchen.
Tony Sunrise is
My
great. I
goodness,
gotta go with
Gretchen,
that.
thank you so
Thank
much.
Gretchen. Greedy
Gretchen.
Gretchen. That's the
You
opposite of greedy
rule.
Gretchen.
That's like awesome. That is so
Thank
awesome.
you
Thank
very
you so much.
much.
And I can't believe you didn't even have a question for us that I would have posted on the site. That's
Answer anything for $50.
Tippy
You
Summer.
guys remember Three's Company? The promiscuous broad was greedy Gretchen on Three's Company.
Timmy
Semicolon.
Oh my God, Freddie Branchdale.
Bob Hornet. That God.
Robert Hornet. There's some really cool names.
My poor name.
Why are all these
Commander.
names better than our real names? You know, Duke Commander is like a GI.
Michael Maplewood. That's a good name. That's a solid name.
Duke Commander is like the Lost GI Joe spinoff that never happened.
Nifty Winkler.
Monique, are you a dabbler? No, I go on there every once in a while if something is mentioned and whatever. So.
Oh,
yeah.
I know Tamara Francois. You didn't have to. I knew exactly what you meant.
My message. Oh, I know that, sweetheart. I saw that when it passed by. It just passed by so quickly I couldn't put it up on the thing.
She is as sweet as Kashia Knight Pulliam. I knew she.
Shandy Lane. I love that one.
Shandy Lane.
Shandy Lane.
Jack Lansing.
Oh God, it's great.
Fido MLK Boulevard.
That's so foul.
Wow. Wow.
Shandy Lane is great. Dan Gladden.
That's a Minnesota twin. I think it's. I don't.
Oh, okay. Spruce Hardwood.
That's great. Spruce Hardwood.
Bianca Squabble. Yeah, that one. Bianca Squabble.
That's so good, Benjamin.
Exactly.
Oh, I gotta steal that.
Bianca East 61st Street, West 61st Street. Okay, so let's get on with the show tonight. What happened today? What happened? Nothing. A lot of nothing actually happened.
A lot of nothing but nonsense.
It was a horrible show, as it usually is. And again, I will preface all by saying I cannot stand when people say, "Oh, you don't really listen to the show." It's like, of course we listen to the fucking show. How do you think we have so many clips about the stupid thing that occurred today? So
I listened to every part of that show today.
Oh, sadly, right? Sadly.
I was ready to start drinking.
Sometimes I miss things. You know, I'll go back and I'll look at your listening thread. A lot of times I'll go to Bring Back Jackie because sometimes he'll do a quote of something he said. And I'm like, fuck, where was that? And I'll PM him and I'll ask him when it was. And he'll be like, oh, I got to go look back when I get off.
So I'm very curious, though. I did tweet to Stephen A. Smith about Howard.
Oh,
I have a feeling that this was pre-recorded, so I imagine it won't matter.
What did you tweet him, Dennis?
I tweeted a little thing about, hey, you know, you're going to be going on a thing. Guy's an incredible racist. He even did this, and I showed pictures of him.
And he showed the Malcolm X with the hair that came straight up like this, like Kid and Play. Look at Bon Jovial. There's nothing I love more than when Bon Jovial, who is a mod on this StreamYard, makes a comment and then posts his own comment as opposed to just coming on.
That's so great. That's so fun.
Delicious. I have
an answer to that, Bon Jovial. I gave.
Wait, let me read it. Let me read it because for podcasting
it's long.
I have a question regarding previous show discussion. Is there any actual evidence that Howard had to go to court-ordered therapy when he divorced? Has he ever said that, or is it in a book? Go ahead, John.
I have today. I have video evidence. Bill O'Reilly interviewed Howard, the one we love. We did a show on it from 2006 on Fox News, and he goes into his kids and he goes into therapy. And the way he frames it, it's clear that it's court ordered. The way he frames it to O'Reilly. He doesn't say it's court, but you can clearly tell it's just too much, and he's just trying to push the father thing. And
so
you wouldn't do that.
That he had to go to therapy?
Who told me? Someone insider on the show told me.
It's pretty evident from the way he answers questions about it that it wasn't his idea.
No way. There's no way, Dennis. Would you be told?
No,
if you had a bad relationship
it's not his idea. He literally was told he needed to go to therapy.
Yeah, early in the days, he implies it.
So Beth's principle says Bon Jovial. I don't believe that you can place that in an actual divorce agreement. However, I believe it was presented in mediation as in Howard's best interest in order to gain other concessions. Yes. So I used to work with a guy
Correct.
who was an absolute alcoholic, just like a horrible person. He would come into work and you could smell the alcohol on him like at 9 o'clock in the morning. So you knew that he was just like a prolific drunk. And I remember when his wife finally divorced him, in order for him to see the children, he had to not only go into AA, but he had to go to therapy. Like it was just that's just the way it works. And maybe it might not be a legal thing, it may be a mediation thing, because I don't really know, but I know that he had to. He had to go to AA. He had to clean up
And
the mess.
that's what makes perfect sense about this, because of all the things that he was short of with the children. I can imagine someone as actually deep as Allison going, yeah, you need to go to some sort of therapy to interact with our children. Remember, this is a person that would not watch his own children, his own daughters, while Allison went out of the house.
He never changed the diaper.
He
never
admits in this O'Reilly interview he has a shitty relationship with her. He doesn't say shitty, but he dances around it. And Allison is a licensed therapist in Roslyn Heights. Her first move would be exactly what Dennis just said. I will, and Monique frames it well as well. I'm not going to take you to the cleaners if you agree to go to therapy, blah, 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 days a week, and I'll back off. You have to learn how to be a dad. I don't trust those kids around you in that toxic, deviant environment.
Maybe it's some sort of like sexual thing. Maybe you never know how it was framed.
Remember, he had Ralph shaving his belly at the house.
Dennis, he's singing Penis Colada on Vacation with Ashley.
Yeah, I mean, this is
okay. I
really...
gotta tell you, you guys can like joke about that, but I saw my mother's birthday obviously you found out that she never breastfed me, which explains a lot. I had made a thread about that on RadioGunk, and we were just talking about just people from the old neighborhood in Brooklyn, and I was like, oh my God, Mommy, do you remember our next door neighbor Ella? And she's like, yeah, you're talking about penis cuntolatus? I'm like, yes, exactly, penis cuntolatus. And so when we were little, she I don't know what we were talking about, and I couldn't have been more than 7 or 8 years old, and we were talking about pina coladas, and she was one of those classic 5'0" tits out to here with one of those bullet bras, big bulging eyeballs, total gindaloon, thick fucking hair in a ponytail, with a cigarette, always one lighting the next one. She, of course, got an answer.
Chain smoke.
And she was like, what kind of drink did you have? A penis cuntolatus? And I'm like, a what? My mother starts laughing hysterically. I had no idea what the reference was. But for the entirety of my life, a pina colada was a penis cuntolatus. So I get how stuff like that happens. I don't think you can pinpoint that thing as something, but something had to happen. That there was, he was either fucking women during private part. Something happened that said, you need fucking therapy. You need to go to therapy. You need to figure. I love that you, by the way, Bon Jovial, downloaded These Are a Few of My Favorite Things as one of the clips that we have in the background, because I have to tell you, you probably don't know this, but one of the other ones that I put in there is, where is it? Why is it not coming on? All right, hold on.
True to your feelings. Times will change.
So far they haven't.
Your oppression will end. But if you're a man, be safe, be brave, and above all, be proud to be a boy lover. If you're a boy, do not.
It's actually on loop. So yeah, he puts this Bon Jovi is so cute. He puts in These Are a Few of My Favorite Things, and I put in NAMBLA. Be safe. This is
be proud.
This goes to show you I was never breastfed. Yeah. Okay.
Mike McN.
I'm so sorry. I really am so sorry. That explains so much.
Who's Mike McHenry?
Mike McN. He writes McN. He writes Howard needed a parenting coach.
That's probably true. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that happening.
Get coaches for everything except parenting.
All right, let's start the show. So yeah, he loved having the holiday off, and this is what he started out with. So let's go there first.
I tell you, I get, when we have that long ass weekend,
5 days.
Coming back, and I'm ready to hang it up. I like having some time off, and
5 days.
it takes me a second to get my groove. I've got a headache this morning.
Clearly.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck you. You didn't want to be
280 days off a year. I don't feel sorry.
We're good with you not being there. I was happy yesterday.
I was excited.
I was going to say at the beginning of the show, remember the days when you couldn't wait for him to come back? And I can't wait for him to be off now. I want him to. I'm rooting for him to be out.
Shit.
Oh, I know.
I'm in fucking heaven when he's not in. Jesus.
When I wake up in the morning and I don't see a thread, I'm like, oh, yes. Although there was that 1 or 2 times where Chaka Khan came in and she's like, hey, was it RadioGunk? Hey, where's the show this morning? And remember, Dennis, you like totally forgot that he had a show?
Yeah, because I just didn't give a shit. I'm fucking done. The thing is, it is so painful at times to actually even think about listening to it that it's one of those things. It's almost like going to a dentist at this point with me. It really is.
Don't insult Bob Ostrowski, Dennis. At least he's on house arrest.
Yeah, it's true.
You're so cute, as if he's still on house arrest.
I know. In my mind,
years,
Howard Page,
an ankle brace.
He's not in that, so it's okay.
Remember that wrestling thing with Dick Murdoch when he goes, "It's still real to me." That's how I feel about his house arrest.
Did they put any videos up yet today to see if he's in Florida? Because
no, he is in Florida. He said he is in Florida. You'll hear it momentarily. So of course he went into wedding COVID planning after that, so we should all be a tither to the fact that Ashley is getting married this summer and she's having over 200 people. And it's so funny. It's like he's talking about how he's invited to the wedding, but why isn't he talking about the fact that it's my daughter's wedding and I'm walking her down the aisle, and this is the thing that I'm happy about. So this is what would please me. But no, it's this. Here we go.
Yeah. We spent a good portion of the day yesterday trying to figure out how I'm going to go to my daughter's wedding.
And
she's having like 200 people, and how we're going to COVID test everyone.
You.
So I got this idea where I got a whole plan, but
how do you execute it?
Yeah. It's like I have to bring in members of the military to get the whole thing going.
It's a logistical nightmare.
Well, you know what it is? I'm reading the Golden Globe Awards show had just occurred, and they say many of the people at the either the Golden Globe or one of these award shows, many people afterwards came down with COVID.
Right. So that had to be the impetus for him, thinking about that he needs to test 200 people.
Sirius
before
is probably telling him.
You know what? If I was his daughter, I would call him out on that. I'd be like, you know what? Fine, Dad. Don't walk me down. I'll have Mom walk me.
I almost feel
or my stepdad. Have stepdad walk me down.
But seriously, right? I mean,
the whole wedding is tweaked around his fucking fake ailments and neuroses and his over the top and his delusional fame. They're not even looking for him.
But where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line when your daughter's having 200 people, probably at a very nice place? It's got to be costing 150, 200. You have to think to yourself, okay, Daddy's paying, and so do I just let him do what he needs to do? Do I?
No, I think
he has a staff, Dennis. He has the staff looking for COVID examples all over the world, just so he can feel qualified about staying in the basement, just so it serves his narrative.
I honestly think that Sirius is starting to put pressure for him to go back in because everybody else has gone back in. He hasn't, and
I don't think so, though. I don't, Dennis. I think that he is still, to them, in their eyes, their moneymaker. And I don't care what you say about it. I don't care what you say. They think this. They think without the cliche of Howard Stern on their roster, they're no better than YouTube Music.
So I'm going to we'll see how it happens now. They're charging $3 a month more to listen to him. Because I have a feeling that by the end of the summer, or actually by the end of spring, they'll know the answer that he is useless, because it's either $5.99 a month or $8.99 a month to listen to Sirius. And the only difference is the Howard Stern show. I can't imagine anybody on God's green earth going, yeah, I want to pay $3 extra a month to listen to, to 85 shows.
Yeah, but
a
isn't
year.
that the way they can now do the metrics and see who listens to him?
Exactly. And I think that this will truly show how irrelevant he is. And because I canceled 4 subscriptions. 4.
Why did you have so many? What's wrong with you?
Well, I had different radios and they charge you a subscription for each one.
I don't know from that. I have one subscription for like.
I have cars. I have things in my house.
I have one car, which I trade off depending on where I am, and then just my internet.
And I have a thing in my house. I never.
I know the fact that you have a thing is so funny to me. How do you not just pick up your phone, put on your headphones, and listen to it that way? How?
Because the thing works better than the phone. It really does.
Music Stream
actually works better.
Music Stream says Eddie Murphy's daughter got married. He had COVID testing, but people ignored it and just bypassed the testing. And
exactly.
How do you know that, Music Stream? Eddie, how do you know the details?
It may have been something that
I just went out to dinner with like 30 people.
Did you?
Yes.
And how many were black, Dennis?
None, of course.
None, 0, of course.
Of course, there's the Italian club.
Let me ask you guys this, because Dorian Morgan he's a figurehead. How do you guys explain? And I have a couple theories behind it. You know, they run commercials during the NFL, and they show a serious commercial. And there's like a big dining room table, and it's Kevin Hart and it's Conan O'Brien and it's other people at Sirius, and Howard's nowhere to be found. Not a picture, not an implication. Is it because he wants to be paid extra, or because they really don't give a shit deep down? What does he mean?
I think that the demographic that they are pitching to is not Howard's demographic anymore.
So Azores, the $5.99 includes everything except Howard.
Azor says, doesn't the $8.99 include sports as well? The $5.99 only gets you music.
$5.99 includes sports as well. The $8.99 only is Howard and Howard 100 and Howard 101.
Really?
Here's another curious scenario, and you both have encountered. I think everybody's encountered this. Dennis, what happens, and Monique, what happens when you guys get a survey about canceling? What's the first question they ask in the survey?
Right. Is it what is it? Well, they ask the Howard Stern question always.
Right. You're canceling because Howard Stern's not on the air enough, and is kind of like not in so many words, his show's not what it used to be. They frame it some other way, but it's he's not on the air enough and something else.
Yeah.
So they know that. But I believe my whole partner theory is he is a guy who signed that deal with the devil back in fall of 2004 that gave him zero accountability. They agreed to this. His dream was give me all the money and have no accountability. That's his dream, and they agreed to it. They signed a deal with the devil. He has there's no metrics. He has no statistics.
Good for him. We'll get into that a little bit more.
Not good for him.
About O'Reilly and the other thing. So Ben 4810 says, so will Howard have security for himself at his
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I think so.
Oh, God, yeah.
Absolutely. SEAL Team Sex.
He'll be a complete embarrassment to the wedding.
He wants more attention
talk to
too,
people. Man. You know, it's curious because who knows? You know, I don't know how he was at Deborah's wedding, and God knows Emily will never get married. But you know, who really knows? I mean, I would kill for somebody to take pictures and post them on Twitter or Instagram, but I bet you they have to leave their phones. Oh my God. I bet you he tries to make it like it's a it's a high profile publicity event.
Yeah, Buckwalt's right. It's like for him. Could you guys imagine having a father-in-law or a father like that?
No.
And you have to plan your wedding around him. Like 90% of everything you do has to have him in mind of how you tweak every nuance of this wedding. How irritating that would be, regardless of who's paying for it. Well, Allison could pay for it.
No,
she easily could. David Simon can easily pay for that wedding.
Khan invited, he's clearly paying for it. Ashley's daddy's little girl. She will have the pretty princess wedding of the century. Minimum $500,000. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Autobot.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Autobot AI. He says he's paying $27.91 for fucking Sirius.
Jesus.
Dude, call them up and go. I want to cancel. $5.99 a month. Unless you want Howard, it's $8.99.
She should be paying you.
Yes, Housey football, you are correct. What demographic would that be, Monique? Young people don't want Sirius because they know how to stream everything, unlike dinosaurs like me in their 40s. Yes, and you're so cute, by the way. If you would like to change your avatar, and I know you have a puppy that I put up there for you, if you want me to show you how to do that, I'll do that for you tomorrow because you're probably sick of that.
I'm over my 40s, and I use YouTube Music mostly.
I use YouTube Music. That's all I pretty much use.
That's all I use. I mean, Sirius is awful to listen to. I don't listen to it except for monitoring the Stern Show because it is atrocious radio.
No, I don't listen to it at all.
It is
I do like the sports stations. I give it up to
No,
the sports stations. They do a nice job. Oh, Dennis, I disagree. The Fantasy Channel is phenomenal. NBA radio.
I give them sports. So
listen, Autobot AI. All you have to do is call them, say it's too expensive. I see that you're offering deals, and I'm canceling. They will absolutely come back to you with a deal you cannot refuse.
And it'll be monthly, so you'll pay whatever per month.
Oh, see, I just do it for the year.
No, they actually changed it now. Now it's monthly.
Oh, interesting. Because I
know, and it's locked in forever at that price. I'm like, really?
They finally had to bow down to some of their earlier. They used to have to. They would blackmail you to buy hardware and give serial numbers of radios and car stereos, and now they go, all right, we'll give you the internet subscription, and that's all you need.
I pay $9.99 a month. That's exactly what I pay Music Stream. I pay $9.99 a month, and I have it in, I have it in one car because obviously I'm not using multiple cars at the same time. So I have it in one car, and then I usually switch it to a different car when I go back north, and I have it streaming. That's it, and that's what I pay, $10 a month.
Monique, David's so right. Do you think they're going to collect the cell phones at Ashley's wedding?
That's what I said. That's what I just said.
112% yes.
That's no doubt about it.
And think of it as like it's a superstar wedding. I can't imagine that they would. I think what it is that all the kids' Instagrams and stuff like that are private.
Yeah,
so that's why we don't really have access to it. We have access to like Emily's, Judaica ramblings and shit like that, but all the private stuff we don't have access to. So I think that's where they share stuff. I think they've all turned their Facebook pages private. I mean, they've done everything they can to make things unavailable to most of us, and that's why they did it. I mean, for obvious reasons. Listen, the truth is, I hate when people troll me, right? Like I hate when people, post shit about me, post my name, post my pictures, post my face. And this is why I got off of all social media, Facebook, even LinkedIn, for fuck's sake. And so I get how people hate that. They are private citizens. And, even though we have a prurient interest in knowing what happens at these weddings, and of course I would show it to you immediately, the reality is it's not really our business. So I'm okay with that. I really am. I'm okay with it.
Except that Howard's there.
So,
Now, will the pony, the beefus, will it do any stupid grams from there? Because
No.
it is very thirsty.
No.
It's very thirsty.
No, I will contend that Beth has a private Instagram that we don't know.
Definitely.
And that she uses with family and friends. And this is only her, kitten and Pittsburgh Strong Insta. So I think she has one that's with a totally different name that only her friends have, that she probably has like 100 followers or something like that. And she follows.
No doubt about it. And that's, Monique, I bet you that's where they originally posted, I want to feel the sun. And that's on her actual private Instagram.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
I don't know. It's so thirsty. I just...
No, I don't think she will.
I think it'll hurt itself, though, beforehand. It won't go.
No.
I think it'll come up lame.
I'm running out of staircases to throw myself down.
Honestly, if she's anything like me with the ex-wife scenario, I want to look my absolute fucking.
Oh yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it can't.
Well, compared to Allison, let's be honest. She's like.
I don't know. Allison at least aged nicely. Beef looks like
it's different. It's different when your first wife is your age. It's very different. So all of a sudden you go from having the 68-year-old wife.
Yeah, but Allison at 68 or whatever, it looks much better than Beef does at.
Well, just because she's natural and she's aged nicely, but not that Beth doesn't want to look her best in any scenario. She's going to get like the best designer dress. She's going to wear 5-inch
It's going to go to grandma's.
The two of them will walk in like hot shit. She'll actually have to put her big flapping fucking palms and hands into every video.
Yes.
Walk down the aisle.
Man hands.
You know the way it works.
Morph on it.
She's looking like an aging yacht girl. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. That's all it is.
She will polish her hoofs, says Rupert Pumpkin. All right, let's continue. We got lots of clips to get to tonight. I'm going to even put on my reader so I can see what's going on here. And let's get to so here's where he mentions about Florida. Hang on a second. Let me.
It's winter here.
Well, I don't live where you live. Where I am, it's summer. Meanwhile, where I am, I 45 degrees in Florida. Yeah, yes. Over the weekend, I was freezing. I was trying to get the heat on. I couldn't get it on.
So yeah, he's in Florida.
Oh, Mr. Anorex. Don't you feel privileged, guys? He told you what state he's in. What an honest guy. This is the world's most honest radio host. He told you what state he's in.
I was right. That's why he took the day off, because then he flew down to...
He's always off for Martin Luther King Day. Always.
No, he's been on it. He actually has worked it.
No, he has not.
King of all blackface has worked it many times, Monique.
See, I don't remember that because I have not been off for that day for forever. You know, New York City, it was kind of like, well, it's not a day off, but if you need to take that day, you can. Meanwhile, there was maybe like 2 black people in the whole company.
He worked it so he could augment the Hampton season, Monique. I remember he added. Thank you, Dennis. You agree with that?
Absolutely.
I feel like when he went to Sirius, though, Sirius is closed on Martin Luther King Day, and so since all his guys were off,
he's been on. He's actually been on that day.
Yeah, he's been on.
Last year he was on MLK Day.
Remember, quite frank, for the last couple of years, I know I didn't want to say that. For the last couple of years, he's been off for it for sure.
He's been on it though. He's been on it more.
I don't know. P. Mac, can you weigh in on this, please, so that we have like confirmation on this?
We can just
go to Mark's free.
Look on the website and find out if he was on that day.
So
I actually remember. I remember that he was on because I actually did. I had a dream. I had a dream, and it was like 2 years ago. He was on an MLK Day.
Well, I don't have a calendar from then because we didn't go back that far.
I know, but I figured this weekend was the weekend he was going to bug out to go to Florida, and as soon as he saw the stupid Graham. We
didn't have to wait till this weekend. He could have done it Wednesday afternoon.
I know, but the stupid Graham gave it away because the flooring did not match. They flew every animal down there, which is insane, including the rabbit.
There for the next 5.5 months. Of course,
I know they flew the rabbit down.
And if you're flying private, you can just take everything.
I know,
you
just take all the animals on there, like Noah's Ark.
I'm gonna move on.
Let's move on.
Obviously, he's having Stephen A. Smith in tomorrow. So this was a big point of contention. I don't necessarily know why he's having him on because
I got a theory. If you want to hear it?
Let's hear it.
Let me play some clips.
I have no idea.
Let me play some clips first. So he starts talking about football and how he doesn't really like watching football, but if he does watch it, he's all in. But of course, he has too much to do. So let's
Tampa versus Buffalo or Miami
versus Dallas.
Miami.
Yeah.
Do you hear these two? They have no idea.
No idea who's playing.
No idea. I'm going to play from the beginning.
Idea.
Sorry.
Tampa versus Buffalo or Miami
versus Dallas.
Miami.
Right.
It was. I don't even know what I watched. I watched the Giants. And
who'd they play?
My problem with football is this: when I watch it, I really get into it.
Do you really?
I can't do multiple things. I have to watch it. It's very compelling. And I have so many other things in life I want to do.
That if I got 2 hours or 2.5 hours or 3 hours.
No, it's 3.5 hours long.
Are you kidding me? Can we just discuss this for a quick second? Is it not the pleasure and joy in life if you like sports? I mean, if you like games, if you like this thing, is it not the pleasure in life to dedicate a Sunday between let's say 4 and 7 or 12 and 4 or 12 and 7, whatever the fuck you want to do.
Right.
Not a joy to dedicate yourself. And you don't even have to dedicate yourself to it. That's what the red zone is for. You can watch every fucking game in like 15 minutes with no commercials and see what happened.
So for like a normal human being, a heterosexual man, yes. You basically, it's relaxing. You're watching the game. You don't have to see every down. You just kind of follow along if you have an IQ over 69.
Right.
And you just kind of enjoy the moment of happening. These two clowns had no idea who was playing who. I mean, that's the part that's even most disturbing, because that Dallas and the Buccaneers played on Monday night. It wasn't even Sunday. It was Monday night they played. It was the only game on.
Why would he know that?
Exactly. It was the only game on. And honestly, the Giants played Minnesota on Sunday. The Dallas and Miami played Buffalo on Sunday also. And
both of those games were Sunday. He didn't watch Monday's game.
He had no idea. I mean,
Saturday double.
Just literally no pleasure at all at watching any of this.
No, there's no passion at all.
No, nothing.
Even if it's just to have it in the background as
exactly.
to just escapism, as just pure escape. There's a coziness in having it on in the background. Yep.
It's shocking to me, and there has to be a quid pro quo here. There's no way you would have. I mean, he wrote a book. Is it for Simon and Schuster? Does Judith Regan have something to do with it? Is he doing something on Sirius that is like a must promote, and this is part of his contract with them? Who the fuck knows? Either way, there's no reason for him to talk sports with Stephen A. Smith. Just none whatsoever. By the way, Stephen A. Smith, an alumni of my college.
Yes, I said that to you. She's
I'm so sorry.
Yep.
So
here's the deal. Here's the deal. Who owns ESPN?
I don't know.
Disney.
Who owns Jimmy Kimmel Show?
Disney.
Stephen A. Smith has been on Kimmel Show many times. He's guest hosted for him. He's really good on the show. He's dynamic on TV. Kimmel said to Howard, have Stephen A. Smith on. He's a great guest. He probably and it finally happened. It's just like it took him years to have Tracy Morgan on. He only had him on because Kimmel foisted him on Howard. So I think it's coming from, thank you guys, Disney. I think it's coming from Kimmel.
Stephen A. is an angry motherfucker. The only redeeming
but
thing
that makes
about
for
him
good
is,
radio. That's good.
Exactly.
That's
but
good,
the only redeeming thing about him is his hatred of the Cowboys. I mean, seriously, there's nothing else redeeming about that.
He's a showman. His personality is professional wrestling. And
so
I say this because he loves wrestling.
Let's talk to Howard about who Stephen A. Smith is. So he has to get affirmation on doing the right thing by having a Stephen A. Smith on the show. So who does he go to ask about it? Let's see.
So the guys said to me, hey, Stephen A. Smith, I think, wrote a book.
I think.
And I think
wrote a book. Stephen A. Smith, I think wrote a book. So maybe you should have him in because I think maybe he wrote a book.
I think maybe you should read it, or Will and Jason.
And they said, no, he's the guy who works with Mad Dog, or Mad Dog works with him sometimes. And he, like every real man, knows who Stephen A. Smith is.
Except for you fucking giant.
Well, he's not a man.
Drew show, you poopy pants, always poop pants Aquaman. Okay, I had to say it because.
Can I also say they're gonna spend quite a bit of time on the fact that this is where Russo. I really need to call the show and yell at him. Howard was asked to induct Russo into the Radio Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Howard bailed on it. What if?
Hello.
Russo is. He's great on the show. He does owe him that. Won't do it. He passed on it, and he gave the honor to Stephen A. Smith to induct Russo into the Hall of Fame. I guarantee you, Howard humble brags about turning it down for 45 minutes. He's going to throw it in his face.
I gotta admit, I don't know who Stephen A. Smith is. I don't even like saying Stephen A. Smith when we say his name. Can't we not do that?
He had a show on ESPN called Quite Frankly, oddly enough. That was stolen from my thread.
That's right. Oh, my God.
Right? That's just another hack reason. Not just being stolen from my thread, but Stephen A. Smith. And now he is a show, very popular, 2.5 hour show during the week.
Where?
And Russo is on ESPN. And Russo is on the show on Wednesday in long form.
Yeah. David says, I think gives the air that Howard reads. I think gives the air that Howard reads outside of the show. And because he reads so much that he's struggling to recall the info in all the info. Okay, I couldn't even read that. I'm just going to tell you, David, I couldn't.
I hope FIT comes up tomorrow, Monique. I'm hoping that comes up.
So Stephen Smith is the angriest motherfucker on TV. He's angry about everything for no apparent reason.
Isn't that his shtick?
I don't
Yes,
know.
he's doing a pro wrestling stick. Yes, he
He's
amplifies
angry about
himself.
everything.
He
Same,
amplifies
yeah.
himself for TV entertainment
Yep.
purposes, and that's how you make good TV. I mean, if he was just monotone and low talking,
But
he
I mean,
wouldn't
he's
have the job.
angry, like over the top angry
Yeah.
for no
Okay,
apparent reason.
let's see who else Howard had to verify Stephen A. Smith with.
The guy. This is the guy. And I said, okay. I said, I trust you on that. And then I asked, like, my brother-in-laws are two real men. You know,
Oh,
they played
yeah.
college
Ooga.
ball, and one played football, one played basketball,
Oh,
Division I, blah,
yeah.
blah, 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 blah. So I go, you know who Stephen A. Smith is? And they go, oh, yeah, he's good.
That's a
I like
man,
him.
baby.
Then that's a man. And then I said to my buddy
Right.
Pat, who really knows, you know,
Pat
Pat was a hockey player, could have almost been pro or something.
but not
Hockey's
quite.
the only sport Stephen A. Smith doesn't talk about.
You know, he's a real man. And
He's a man.
you know Stephen A. Smith? And Pat goes, which means yes. He goes, yeah, he goes,
Really?
and I go, oh, so he's good, huh? He goes,
Wow.
Wow.
That's 112% heterosexual right there. That is that is as heterosexual as it gets.
Beanie Mac is a great point up here.
One
Stephen A. Smith literally has 5 jobs, and he still found time to do. He works 10 times harder than Howard does, Jordan. He does a zillion different
everybody
things.
does.
And he found time to induct Russo. I know everybody does. You're right, Dennis.
So I'm seeing from the chat that people either think he's good or that he's an absolute asshole. So
He's an asshole.
But that's
I
what you
think he's an
want. You
asshole.
polarize.
how do you feel about him, John?
I like him. I like him. I hate him crowbarring the Knicks into everything, but at least he pisses on them. I do like the energy. I saw him on Bill Maher's podcast a few weeks ago in a long form interview. I really grown to like him. I think he really brings it, and I love the pro wrestling dynamic and personality. So
I
like
only
him a
like
lot.
him because he hates the Cowboys with a passion.
Yeah.
So that grows points in my
Cares?
head.
Who cares? It's like such a, you're such guys. I love it. I do, because I don't really.
Yeah, I like Howard.
You know, he's also got a little Johnny
That's
Cochran in
right.
Monique. So he has that sort of debate. He sounds like a lawyer combined with a pro wrestler, and he has that rat-a-tat-tat debate skill where he can kind of go the other. He's very talented at what he does. I'm not going to say he's not.
Well, the only good news about this is that it'll take 2 hours worth of Howard's time tomorrow.
But no,
and
you can't.
why?
Because Stephen Smith's show starts at like 10 o'clock.
So what?
No, his show starts at 10. There's no way he could go
Could have
past
him
10
on at
o'clock.
7:30 for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to happen.
Dennis has a good point. He has to really hustle. He has to come on right away.
He
Or
can,
it's
to make a show.
he
pre-recorded.
can have him on at 7:30 until 9.
Or
Unless it's pre-recorded, Dennis is right again.
And it's
He can
not
have him on
live.
for an hour and a half without any
Yeah,
with
that's
time to
true.
wrap up the show. Here comes the cat. We're going to continue. So we will revisit Stephen A. Smith tomorrow when he has him on.
One last thing on him, and I will say this: he has kind of his set of cojones on him.
That's not getting old.
I do think he
I love
will
it, though.
push back and ask Howard some personal questions. Hopefully, that we have not heard in a very long time.
You think he'll ask Howard questions?
Yeah, I think he'll have some pushback and ask him some because he doesn't. I don't think he knows the show well enough to
No,
care
he
about
doesn't.
the
No
red
way.
flag list. So I think he's just going to come at him loose cannon wise and ask him.
We don't know enough.
personal shit.
We'll see
I'm hoping.
tomorrow. So we're going to move on from Stephen A. Smith and get into. So O'Reilly and Rogan talked about Howard this week, and I didn't really pull any of the Rogan clips because he didn't really touch on Rogan except for maybe like 5 minutes worth of chitter chatter. But he was really angry about Bill O'Reilly, and I think he has a little axe to grind with Bill. So
Every curl is manufactured.
yeah. So and Bill O'Reilly spoke truth. So I'm gonna play a little bit of Howard tooting his own. I mean, he did this pretty much all day. He was just talking about how great he is and how he's number one and how he's the most fabulous person ever to grace the airwaves ever. So let's just start with this.
I know my place in radio, and I'm gonna brag a little bit here.
Yeah, you do that.
I'm the most successful broadcaster ever lived. Period. End of sentence. That's it. And I know a lot of guys hate me for it, and a lot of guys despise me for it because they all think they're better than me and they all think they're funnier than me. If I hear one more fucking moron going, Howard Stern used to be good, but he's not good anymore. And I'm like, dude, here's what you have to live with. You chose to go into my profession and you will never be as good as me.
So,
Wow.
so he's a little angry. He's a little pissy.
So
did he say Rogan's name?
No,
he
did later. Yeah, he did.
He did later. I didn't cut that clip only because he really did it in passing. He was really more angry at Bill O'Reilly for some reason.
So
today.
Yeah.
Can I address this thing about his medium, how he is so successful? I posted one person that is much more successful than he is. It's Scott Shannon. Scott Shannon created the Z Morning Zoo and sold it across the nation. He owned that. That was his. He's retired now.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a Don Buchwald who made him millions.
Doesn't matter. Scott Shannon has as much money, if not more, than Howard does.
It depends on your definition of success.
Doesn't have to be a sellout
no
at the end.
Way.
What's your definition of success? Money?
Absolutely does.
Net.
He sold that Z Morning Zoo everywhere. He owned the rights to it.
Let's take a look. See, Celebrity Net Worth says that
you
Scott
think
Shannon.
That's actually accurate?
Yeah, but let's give it some credence. Basically, it's saying Scott Shannon's net worth is $5 million.
Bullshit.
Jesus. I think I might be worth
His
more
house
than him.
is worth more than that. Bullshit.
With a salary of $400,000, Scott Shannon's net worth is approximately $5 million.
He's got a bunch of
76
really
years old.
He's got a bunch of really good juice.
See if
on
you
his
can tap into that a
team.
little bit, Monique. Maybe you could research. And I'm saying do it now. Maybe I wish Melvin were here. He'd have it in 2 seconds. Dennis might be right. He did invent the Z Morning Zoo kind of format, and if he had some copyright on it, it's got to be more than $5 million.
Listen,
he did.
You know what? This is the same place that says Stuttering John is worth like $2 million. All right, so, the slack you have to cut it is on error on the side of too much.
So no, but Scott Shannon, I know for a fact because I know people in Tampa. He started in Tampa.
Yeah,
and he had a giant house and had lots of very, very expensive cars 30 years ago before Howard ever thought he was actually anything.
Thank you, Horzu. I just did the same thing for Brent Hatley. And it says that Brent Hatley has a net worth of $10 million. Okay.
So, yeah, exactly. That's all bullshit.
Well, that's why I'm saying you usually have to err towards the side of not even in the same fucking.
But Shannon owns the Z Morning Zoo, and it was all over the nation. The man is actually very smart in business. He's extremely smart in business,
but there's no way he's worth what Howard is. So Howard,
yes, he is. He actually, I would contend that he is.
No way.
I would. Absolutely, I would.
He's 76 or 77 years old. He hasn't worked in years. Maybe he sold.
Yeah, because he literally has a franchise of Z Morning Zoo. Every Z Morning Zoo pays him money. Every one of them owes him money.
It's all. The question is how much and how do we find out?
Look at that.
And what are his contracts for?
It's $600 million at his death. So if you want to compare, that's probably a better comparison. Not the
free on my house.
I'll go with Scott Shannon all day long. Just
the guy to ask this to, Monique, is Opie. If we could get him on finally, and I think he's got some strong opinions on that net worth of both those guys.
Also,
there you go. Best Principal says Rush was not as big as Casey Kasem. Howard and Rush were niche broadcasters. Kasem was the biggest. That's true. Let's do Casey Kasem. Remember, there was that whole controversy around his.
There's a lot of money in Casey Kasem estate because they did drag his.
They left the body. They left the body out of.
They dragged it around the world.
Yeah, they took it on a world tour. Casey Kasem's net worth had a net worth of over $80 million.
No, he was
how much his estate was
much more than that.
Remember, no, you can't think that way. He was like 82 when he died. His timing for being in the sun was when they didn't make these multi-billion-dollar fucking deals. So you're talking about a completely different time period.
That's true. That's true.
Understandable.
But $35,000 was a lot of money to be.
Scott Shannon is contemporary. And he actually, the Z Morning Zoos are everywhere. Everywhere.
No, I think you're wrong. I think
I'm right. I have insight.
He was probably part of a collective.
No, he owns that. He actually literally owns that.
I cannot begin to argue this with you as I have 20 more clips to do. But
let's go through 20 more clips. But I know I'm right on this one.
So we're going to talk about O'Reilly, and we're going to talk about O'Reilly in college versus Howard. So here we go.
Oh, I have it. Okay.
We were both in the School of Communication at the same time, and the only reason that I knew him, he was undergrad, I was a master's.
You never knew me. I never met you. I don't know you.
Degree candidate, was he was the only guy taller than me in the school.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the guy was like 6'5", 34 pounds. I mean, he was and this giant fro on his head.
Even that's a lie.
That's true.
I didn't have a fro. I wore
Yes,
my
you
hair
did.
straight. It was down to my waist.
Really?
No, it wasn't. Never
And
was.
I wore a ponytail. It didn't even. It's just so stupid.
No, I don't think that actually ever happened, because this picture that you're all looking at right now is when Howard was in his sophomore year. So if you want to put a date on it, he was like 20 years old. And he was still, by the way, doing a summer job at his camp because he's a freak that way. This is Howard when he graduated at 22. So you can see the hair is pretty much the same. Here's
Heisman pose.
Here's Bill O'Reilly, and then here's Howard.
So sexy.
Here's Howard at like 21. So I don't see where the hair was ever
never down to his
anything
waist.
other than the fro.
He's definitely over 6'7". Monique, I don't want to jump ahead, but maybe you should play the clip I sent you of when O'Reilly was on the show, and Howard confirmed he completely has shot down what he just said.
Bill O'Reilly goes, "Be you with gun?"
Yeah,
sure. Why not? Let's do it. Let's blow us out of the water.
Looks like a tall guy.
He's about 6'5", I think. Let me see how tall.
You play the video?
Wow, you are.
Oh, I didn't realize this was a video. Okay,
It's a video,
hold
yeah.
on. Let me see how I can do this. Shit.
So it confirms everything O'Reilly said is true.
All right, just give me one quick second.
And Howard's full of
Find
shit.
it. Bill O'Reilly, BU. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me just drag this into a. So I can show you the visual.
You guys remember when Carrie Kasem was on Howard, and he would browbeat her about her dad's Casey's net worth, and he was frothing over anything she said while he was making $32 million a year. I'd like to go back and listen to that, see if there's tips on.
All right, let's play a little video. Here we go.
I don't hear
the volume on that?
Not yet.
No.
Oh, interesting. See, there's a problem with
StreamYard.
There's a problem with not with StreamYard. There's a problem with doing a separate. Oh, fuck's sake! I hate you guys more than life itself right now.
Every follicle is manufactured. Every show is the first show.
Yes, every show is the first show. Let me see.
Nobu.
Do you hear that now?
No.
Of course not.
No, hear nothing.
Give me a second.
Chief Phony Brothers go, use all that 32 gigabytes of RAM, Monique.
I'm ramming.
Now.
I'm ramming. God damn you all. I'm ramming. Bill O'Reilly. Share. All right. Tell me if you hear this. Give me a second. Here we go. Let me lower it a little. The volume's going to come on loud. Tell me.
He's about 6'5", I think.
Yes?
Yes. Thumbs up.
How tall? Wow, you are a tall guy. What are you,
6'5"?
Yeah.
They forgot to cut you off.
Hey, Bill.
You're taller.
How you doing? Bill. You Boston graduate or Harvard?
Both.
Wow, look at you. Harvard, what year? I mean, like, what were you, master's in Harvard?
Yeah, I got a master's at the Kennedy School in '95. I was at BU when you were there, and I knew you.
Are we the same age?
I was in the master's program.
Oh.
And you were flunking out of the regular program.
Yes.
But I saw you because you were walking around the hall, and I said, "This is the only guy in the number one." I knew you were from Long Island. You just had Long Island written all over you, and so am I.
Yeah.
And then you were the only guy taller than me.
Is that true? You do remember me?
I do, because you just shuffle. You shuffle down the hall.
I do have an odd walk.
He did see you.
Yes.
I don't see Rob. Oh, there she is.
Here
How
I
are
am.
you?
Robin's
I'm
over
just
there.
fine.
Yes.
Nice to see you.
It's a great setup. So things are going well for you. I was just saying on the air that before you became a whole.
Okay, I'm going to move on just so we can go to.
So everything O'Reilly says is spot on. He's got his old ducks in a row. He's literally got a bibliography about what happened at Boston and when. He knows the shuffle. He's spot on. And Howard's a fucking lying piece of shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, between two guys, I imagine Bill O'Reilly is more truthful than the liar of Chief Phony Feathers. I mean, because I remember that whole interaction they had, and Howard absolutely was seen by him because, I mean, look at him. you would notice somebody like that walking through the hallway. I mean, Jesus
but
Christ.
listen to this clip. This is my most favorite of the whole day. I have to be honest with you. Listen to this.
An afro, and he'd be walking down. And I look at it, I go, I don't know if that's a good look.
Imagine that mmmkay talking about my look. Trust me, dude. In college, I was getting banged.
Sorry, ladies.
He made it because of his humor, Stern.
No doubt.
Okay, that's my next clip. I'm sorry. But okay, so let's look at Howard at the same age group as Bill O'Reilly. So here's Bill. Here's Bill.
A normal human being.
Yeah.
Back then, that's a normal human being.
Yeah, very normal.
He's a little groovy, working the little sweater. And there's nervous. So
now,
this
granted, we're not. O'Reilly's got his problems. He pushed his wife down the stairs. He has 10,000 sexual harassment suits at Fox, but he's not. Howard's a 10,000 times more liar than O'Reilly is.
Absolutely.
Doesn't mean he can't be right. When he's right, he's right.
That's right. So
the thing is, what's even funnier though is that O'Reilly was there doing a master's, and Howard was failing 13th grade.
Yep.
I mean.
Right. So this is Bill O'Reilly in 1971. This is Howard Stern in 1972. There you go. I'm so glad you.
Yeah, is it the Star Trek thing, or is he doing the Heisman pose, or both?
I think he just looks like an errand finger. That's all.
Okay.
Just an errand finger. That's all you got. All right. So let me just play the next clip because I found it completely amusing. And this is truly when Bill O'Reilly speaks the truth about Howard. Really, really spot on.
He made it because of his humor, Stern.
No doubt.
And he's changed now.
Yeah, he's not the same guy. No, you're right.
Oh, it's Sid Rosenberg money?
Pressure of ratings anymore.
No.
So his check is guaranteed no matter how many people listen. And then that kind of the true person comes out when you don't have to, persuade an audience to listen to you every day, and he does not. He gets the money whether they listen or not. And so I've seen him change on the air. But you got to admire him.
So
Nobody
it seems
wants
to be
hear
the new rap on me is it's like what Trump said about me the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
used to be good. And now they're just paying him because he used to be good. That's the logic. You think SiriusXM shells out money because I used to be good?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Show
we
us
do.
show us
Yes,
the metrics.
we do.
112%.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
It's like O'Reilly listens to our show. Everything he says is spot the fuck on. It's what we say all the time.
All the time.
He has no accountability, and that's the deal with the devil he signed in the earliest days of Sirius. I want no accountability. Give me all the money. I'll do whatever. And they agreed to it.
Howard did not start in 76. Howard was born in 1954. So he was 22 in 1976. Howard graduated in 1976.
That was Sid Rosenberg, Monique, I should say.
Yes.
Interviewing O'Reilly. Okay.
Yes.
So does he still do that WABC morning show or whatever?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just listening to.
But now Sirius seems to be kind of wanting to track it because they're charging a lot more just for his show, charging $3 a month. And I think this is where the rubber meets the road because the next contract isn't going to happen. That's what I'm kind of feeling at this point.
I don't know
because now all of a sudden the only thing extra in the $8.99 package is Howard Stern, nothing else.
Can somebody look that up for us so that we can spot check this? Because I know we've talked about it a few times tonight. I'm just really curious if that's the only thing you're paying extra for.
Yes, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. Jesus, I looked it right up when I was getting raped.
Okie dokie. So while you do that, I will go on to my next clip.
The only time he ever had to produce statistics is when he wanted the bonus, and now magically he's taking credit for everybody that signed up for everything as if they're coming to see him. That's the only time we ever heard stats at him is when he wanted his bonus.
Right. So now he's saying he has to prove himself to Sirius, which I find hysterical because of course we all know that is patently untrue. So here we go.
How about this? I'm extremely jealous of Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
He gets paid a lot of money. And he has a lot of fucking listeners. And yeah, most people in radio who achieve a certain level of success get a contract, but I don't get guaranteed money.
Yeah, you do.
Absolutely.
In other words, I've got to prove my worth to this company.
Really?
It's just who would
No, you
defend
don't.
themselves to
No,
this
no, you
lunatic?
don't.
Yeah.
You think Don Buchwald would ever sign anything that wasn't completely ironclad, guaranteed?
On a yearly basis?
On a
Absolutely.
yearly. He doesn't want a thing to do with performance accountability. That's
No.
the whole point of coming here. And you hear him bragging about it from all the days. I have no rules. I have nothing, no one to report to.
Oh my God, can I just tell you guys something? Because I just got reminded of it from this Mike guy. So I'm out to dinner with my friends tonight. And one of my friends happened to have been very, very, very highly placed in MTV and Bravo networks. And I said, hey, did you ever know Andy Cohen? He's like, know him. I could text him right now and see him tomorrow or talk to him. I'm like, and he was telling me about how Andy basically rose to fame in the Bravo networks.
Yeah.
And it's a great story because apparently Bravo had just started doing Real Housewives of Orange County. And they had a shoestring budget. They had like no money whatsoever. And, Andy was in production at the time, working under the person who is now the head of Bravo Networks. And they wanted to do like some sort of after show about the Real Housewives. And he's like, I'll do it. I have nothing else to do. I'll do it.
He started as a PA, right, at NBC?
Oh, I don't know about
that. Was his original. That's his original way. NBC owns Bravo, so he started as a PA.
And he said, okay, the only thing I ask of you guys, I'll do it, just as part of my regular salary, but just can you send a car for me so that, and so they went to this little warehouse in Jersey with like a 3-camera setup and just set up a thing so that they could interview these Orange County women. And that's how Andy started it. I will dig into this a little deeper tomorrow, but I would kill for him to, if I could just say, he's like, you want me to text him? I'm like, no, not right now. I've had 2 drinks and I'm not really prepared for a Andy Cohen conversation. He's like, he's like, I'm sure you met him because he comes to all of our Christmas parties. I'm like, no, I've not met him. He's like, okay, I promise you next year, if you're in the city, you come to our party and I'll introduce you to him. Either way, I think that we might get a little something.
Do you remember what Bravo was? It went from James Lipton to Andy Cohen. Bravo before this was not a gay network. It was basically movies.
It's not a gay network. But Andy Cohen
it is now. Yes, it is. It is now.
It used to be not, but now it is.
It is now. It absolutely is now.
He was not a front guy until that moment.
No, I'm saying he wasn't there. Before Andy Cohen, Bravo was a different entity. It was James Lipton interviewing actors.
Right,
it was kind of like an artistic channel.
No, Arm's right on this. Yeah, absolutely, 112%.
Yeah, I don't know enough. Okay, I'm going to move on a little bit, and we are going to go to. Okay, you sharing a screen, or are you just telling?
I got shared. It's sharing, baby.
All right, here I go.
You want to make it bigger?
Can you blow that up a little bit, or let me put it on
make it bigger.
Keep going. Okay, close that out. Let's see what do we got. Howard Stern. But look at all the other checks.
Oh, that's all bullshit.
Personalized.
When they sent it to me, it was basically Howard Stern, and that's it. Because you can't get Howard Stern unless you get platinum. 112%. There's 25 channels more, which I don't know what that is.
Yeah, but then
all the sports are on this.
Oh, could you do the drop down on sports? See the drop down next to the word sports? Okay, let me see that.
Now,
I always thought that the sports thing was the driver. See, NFL.
It's live college. That's it. That's the only difference.
NFL.
Is live college.
NFL.
Where? The NFL is 100%. It's 100%.
No.
All.
No. It's not checked.
To give you an idea of the money he makes, they have his name compartmentalized.
I'm telling you, NFL is part of the premium channel. Don't you see that? See?
It says NFL, so, but it isn't, though, because they said the only thing, what they sent me was
Babe, I'm just going by what you're showing me here. NFL,
I understand.
NBA, and what's this little square with a red dot on it?
Where do you see that?
Red dot.
Major League Baseball. You can't see the insignia.
So NFL, MLB, and NBA are not part of the lower package. They are premium for sure because they pay a shit ton for NFL, a shit ton.
Now they have Howard's name like compartmentalized. That's to show you how much money he makes. So it's like implying that he makes as much money as any of these entities combined.
Correct.
No one's individual name is isolated like that on this thing. That's how you know how much money he
It's not
makes.
like Andy Cohen is a separate.
It should be.
It should be,
I
but
don't know.
it
I
is
don't know how many
far more ambitious than his show.
Andy Cohen has more listeners than he does.
He might,
I know it
but I
does.
don't know
Dennis.
that.
It definitely does.
I don't know that.
I'd
100% he
listen to
does.
it. That's all that matters.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
Well, tell us
I'm
then.
telling you that
Tell
the
us.
sports
Give
is
us
the
some intro.
driver. Sports to me is the driver.
I think so
If you're
too.
somebody who's in your car a lot and you don't, because the red zone is kind of expensive to have for the season.
It is.
But
It is
if
one
you
day a
can
week.
have
Well,
every
red
single
zone-
NFL game and switch between them all at the same time, it's a beautiful thing, I think.
Well, Red
It's on
Zone is
17 days
included
a week.
on
A year.
YouTube TV.
No, it's not. I had to pay separately for it.
I have it. I have it on YouTube. Oh.
You probably pay for it. It was
Oh, yeah.
free for like a month, and then it's like, oh,
I'm
sorry.
an early adopter. Maybe
Sorry,
that was
you-
it.
Oh my God, I'm such an early adopter of YouTube TV. Okay, Drew's show. No, I subscribe to XM Premium for the sports, the NBA, the NFL, fuck golf, fuck NASCAR. Dennis is wrong. Was just listening to Spurs game on a jaunt to the corner store. It is. I think that it is sports driven, and they throw Howard in with it. He just always needs
But
it out.
he's not
He needs-
available on anything but that.
I hear you, and I understand that for sure. I'm just saying that he's not the only thing. I was almost
But
positive
that
it was
just
NFL.
shows. Well, either way, it just shows how irrelevant he is, because no one is subscribing for that for him.
No.
Either way, they have the metric to know that no one wants to listen to.
Don't you see how that feeds his ego? Because
has an out,
is
too.
Premium, but it's NFL too.
He
you
can
know?
take credit for the NFL's listeners too. Oh, look, this is for me. Is it like what he did in the beginning?
Rupert
he has
Pupkin, could you please look up how much Sirius pays for the NFL and
it's gotta be
Major League
It's a lot. They
Baseball and stuff
charge
like that?
everything for.
I'd be curious to know what the cost of is, and I'm just going to leave him here because I'm just kind of really
Look at
digging
that, so sexy.
That's
Come
the
on, ladies,
graduation.
you
that's
can
the
have him.
graduation photo. Just about to get married.
How
Everybody.
sexy that is. So sexy.
Okay, so he goes into this real
Jesus.
senior citizen moment about not remembering how long he's been on the air, which I think is kind of crazy.
He doesn't remember his first show.
Phone. Well, I wonder what is my anniversary? I don't even have an anniversary.
We don't have an anniversary.
No.
We've
when
never
do you-
celebrated one.
When
Yes, sports are regional, but if you are anybody even close to being somebody who plays fantasy football, fantasy basketball, any of those things, you want to know the scores in real time because you are on top of this shit.
Sports
And-
have gotten more national than ever now.
Exactly.
Kids follow
And
stuff.
the red zone is only football, so there's nothing like that for Major League Baseball or for NBA. So it is a radio-driven circumstance by which you listen to that. That's all I'm
But
saying.
we're not sure when we started. Really, when did the Howard Some people would say the Howard Stern show started in Hartford, even before I met Robin.
No,
or
nobody
in
would say that.
Detroit. I mean, I don't even know
What?
my anniversary.
But we
is.
don't know when we started working together.
Yes, you did.
Did you ever notice that they never play stuff from when he was in Detroit or from?
No, they don't, do they? I think that's a
No.
Steve Dahl era, Monique. So you can prove that Steve Dahl. It's proof that he stole from Steve Dahl if he played Detroit stuff.
Yeah.
That and also from Washington D.C. They literally ignore that completely.
Very, very. racist.
Jordan, I
People watch-
understand that you can get all that stuff online, but if you're in your car, that's a whole.
You can still get it online.
That's Sirius's
Thank you,
main.
Ida.
Yeah, you can read it, but that's Sirius's.
No, you
main-
can get it streamed online in
Where?
your car.
Where?
Trust me, you could stream it.
All games?
Stream what, Monique?
All NBA.
Yeah,
Yes,
here's
you
how
can.
it works. Okay, can I please?
But on
tell you how this works?
Sirius, it's like
Every
from
Sirius
channel,
has
like,
every
90
individual
to
team.
100.
Every individual team is broadcast on
Yes.
SiriusXM.
Right.
Both broadcasts. So if the Raptors for G Canada are playing the Pacers, you get to hear the Raptors broadcast or the Pacers broadcast.
Right.
You get to hear two of them. This is every night. Every sport has it. in the exact same way. You get to hear whatever. So they strike, I think you're both right, individual deals that are regional with the individual teams.
It's just easier to see it all in one place is what I'm saying. Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah. You can go to anything, right?
I can stream anything I want.
So if you're driving around Arizona, you can listen to the Seattle Seahawks. You know, that was the dream that they could never make work back in my day. And I feel bitter. You know, you can listen, kids can watch anything, anytime they want, any team, however they want to do it. And that's a great thing these days.
But if you're in your car and you want to hear sports, all you got to do is turn to channel 112, 13, 14, 15, 16.
It's impossible. On Sirius, though, they don't even let you know where it is. You have to fucking search for it.
It's a big search, yes.
You can literally, I know on Android Auto, you can have apps that you can pull individual teams you want to listen to. There are also streamers for NFL. You know, there's many other competitors to SiriusXM.
Of course, I agree with you 1,000%. Yeah. I'm just saying Sirius's draw is predominantly sports right now.
There's Ruben Pumpkin. There he is, right down the bottom.
There you go. Well, but that's 2003, and that ended in 2010. If you're saying 7 years, so
they obviously paid more afterwards.
Well, right. What's the re-up on that?
It's probably like 300, 400 million.
Interesting. So they paid more for Howard than they did for NFL back in 2003.
Exactly, which is insane. If you really think, I mean, if you honestly think about it, it's insane to pay more for Howard than for the NFL.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I mean,
but back in 2003, this is like a, you know, Howard was the draw. Howard was what enabled them to merge. Let's be honest. I mean, he was the only person.
Well, yes and no, because remember
Wait, do you have to pay for each sports team's broadcast?
The league does this. The league charges each individual team regional fees.
But Sirius doesn't charge us regional fees.
No, that's for the league does. Like the NBA charges the Knicks for MSG. You know, they have regional deals individual. That's why you have the blackout shit. That's why when there's a game on, it gets blacked out, which is the worst rule in the world. Because
Midlife Crises. Okay, very funny name. I just bought some tickets from Ticketmaster as a reward. They offered me 4 free months of Sirius. I said, no. Yeah, because that's how they suck you in. They say, okay, you can have 4 free months. And what did I call them? Zombie accounts. So you would be one of those classic zombie accounts where they would offer it to you, but you'd have to just put a credit card down just in case you decide you want to keep it. And then they slam you, in April sometime for like $250, like their top premium price, until you call somebody in fucking, Jalalabad to, argue with you about why you shouldn't be paying that much.
Exactly.
That's the way it works with them.
Yeah, because I mean, Sirius still has the deal with all the auto manufacturers where they pay the auto manufacturers to have Sirius installed on their cars, and then they have the kickback of the subscription.
And Jovial doesn't understand our whole sports dichotomy here. So
you should hear him talking about Jeff Beck.
He literally logged on so that he could put this comment up.
Wow.
On YouTube and then post it.
He'll understand it tomorrow, or actually later tomorrow, because it's tomorrow there already.
He might. Okay, let's move on.
We're going to shrimp in the Barbie and enjoy.
Okay, we have lots of clips to get to, so let's do some more tooting of our own horn. Here we go.
But who knows? People say I'm good. Some people say I'm bad.
Yeah,
it's evidently debated. But as I said, I'm pretty sure, unless you got another candidate, I'm the most successful guy that's ever been on radio. I don't think there's anybody else.
You love this. Dennis always gets such a kick out of how promoting himself.
He's one of the most successful, but he's not giving credit to anybody else in existence. Orson Welles, right?
And then
Casey Kasem, friggin' Scott Shannon.
All she can say is that O'Reilly is obviously seething with jealousy. He's just so jealous of you.
Yeah,
Howard. He's just, and Robin was just such a ball licker today. It was just really kind of awful.
Yeah,
she couldn't stop herself. What did you say on the website? It was pretty funny. You said something about Robin and how she just kind of like mimics him and agrees with everything that he says. But yeah, she was fully on board with whatever shit Howard was peddling today.
Thoroughly up his ass today. It was embarrassing.
Okay, so let's go on to. Oh yeah, he's just so fucking delusional. Here, listen to this.
No, it was just the lack of respect. It was
no
really
respect, right?
like
really
he
no
thought
respect.
you were nothing, and it'd be easy to topple you.
Well, you make a good point. There's a lot of guys in broadcasting who go, I'm funnier than Howard. I don't understand. I'm better than him. I guess they hear the show and I must make it sound easy. And then they go and do their own shows and nobody gives two fucks about them.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? I think they think it's easy.
You have 70 writers,
and,
you fuck.
Well, for me, it's easy. For them, it's not. I don't know why.
He's so full of himself. It's so crazy to me.
You know who's the most successful? Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah,
112%.
Technically, if you want to count him, Dennis, branching out into the other mediums, he absolutely. He started the Kardashians, for Christ's sake.
Exactly. He does.
I'm sorry, Susanna Melendez.
And he's on TV.
I'm sorry.
Ryan Seacrest net worth. Here we go.
But he's on TV and on a radio.
450 million. Okay, so that's his parent net worth right now. And since Ryan has many more years, he's 48 years old. So he's got like 48 for 950, 68. He's got 20 years on Howard. So
how many different gigs does he have now, Monique? He's got. Does he still do the radio show?
So many.
Kelly Ripa.
Kelly Ripa, exactly.
The reality. What's he do?
But he's not part of the Kardashian thing anymore. So that's
but he started it.
But still, he does a radio show and he does a TV show, which Howard could never do. Howard could never get a TV show to work.
Never.
Ever.
No,
because he only knows how to do one thing, which is what he does. And he's such a control freak that anything else that anybody tries to do, he thinks is not good enough, even though he, Benjamin says Ryan Seacrest's father has both of his eyes. End of story. Don't ask.
Don't ask.
Is control freak a euphemism for lazy now? Or
yeah, right? Now, listen to this one. Okay, again, I'm just continuing with the tooting of his own horn, but here, listen to this.
I don't know why. I don't know why I was chosen. I don't know why I'm so fucking interesting. I don't know why I'm so fucking funny. I don't know. It's just the way it is.
Thanks, Bruce.
But it evidently can't be duplicated. Keep trying. Why not?
Can you imagine?
This is the fucking hubris. Pure fucking hubris.
I'm so funny. Dude, you literally have more people working for you than probably the next 15 people on air have working for them.
Easily.
I'm sorry, not on TV, on radio. Like you legitimately have more people working for you than the next 20 people do.
He has more people working for him than are listening.
And that's not because he's benevolent, needs to employ these people. It's because he's too lazy to lift a finger. And as our friend Chad told us, he's handed a paper, so he doesn't have to do shit.
It came through today.
Not because he's benevolent.
Yeah, the hubris today, the self-aggrandization,
Aggrandizement.
That word.
I think you're right too, Monique. I think they both work.
He
has incredible delusions of grandeur. Literally.
Yes. Okay, listen to this one. This is gonna make you fun.
I've heard this.
The Springsteen interview being on HBO seems to have riled up the Bill O'Reillys and the wannabes. They're all jacked up about the fact that I have all this success. They get mad.
They're jealous.
Yeah, everybody's so jealous of your HBO special, dude.
But here's the thing, too. He can hide behind this right-wing conspiracy that the right, he's such a threat to the right that they're all out to smear him, and all these criticisms only come from conservatives. I'm as liberal as it gets. I'll go 500 times worse than them in criticizing you. So he, you know what I mean? He gets to hide behind this conservative conspiracy theory that he's somehow a threat to them, and this useful idiot's going to take them down, and that's why they have an agenda.
I saw this from Kate
Tate. I like what Kate Tate said.
112%.
So
Jack Benny.
Dennis had said, "Wow, he really thinks he's the most successful guy in radio, especially when he's way more successful and retired." Tate says he's an idiot. Jack Benny was a massive radio star, making Wiggy's career look like Shuley. Jack Benny was also huge on TV at the same time his radio show was huge. He also wasn't one and done with movies. I think he made about 10 with an uncredited cameo in Casablanca. And he could laugh at himself. One of his movies, The Horn Blows at Midnight, was a failure and it became a running joke on the show. Bob Hope was also a massive radio star, and that got him a movie career that Wiggy so desperately wants. And it looks like Wiggy never heard of Orson Welles.
Orson Welles.
Here's
That guy.
He considered success financial. Period. Full stop.
But
So
the thing is,
the money he makes today, let's look at a Jack Benny. Let's look at him making maybe $250,000 a year, which was a huge amount of money back then. But he sees it as success in terms of being financially able to do this shit.
But if you look at it in relative terms, Jack Benny made more money than Howard did.
Could be.
100,
I'm just saying that's not the way Howard sees it.
I understand that, but Bob Hope definitely did. And then Orson Welles absolutely did.
Yeah.
Orson Welles was incredibly wealthy by the time he died.
Absolutely. KT continues on. I'm sorry. Let me continue. We were going back and forth. Everybody was talking about what makes Howard successful, and this was a brilliant take. What works in Howard's favor is that his name is on the show. Absolutely. The whole framework of the show with people like Jackie or Artie, callers, all adding to the conversation made for some great interviews. If the show was called K-Rock Morning Show, it would have the reputation of having great interviews, not Wiggy. It could only come from people who stopped listening when the framework was in place that would consider Wiggy to be a good interviewer or even have wit. Kate Tate, I don't know who you are in real life, but you were so spot on most of the time when you make comments like this in the listening threads. And so then George Ballooney comes back and says, I've thought that too, about his name being the show's name. It's like if Opie and Anthony was just called the Greg Hughes Show, maybe people would refer to Opie as being one of the funniest people ever on radio. And it's so true because, you know, perception is
reality.
Is 99% of reality, right? So you would think that if it was Opie's show, then he would be the name. And so therefore it would be his show and Kumi is just like a Jackie, let's say. But so perception.
How about Seinfeld, Monique? You care more about George Costanza, Elaine, and Kramer than you do Jerry, but his name's over the title. He gets all the money. He reaps all the benefits.
And so does Larry David.
Yeah, and Larry David, right? He wishes.
You know, and you know what this is, but this is how you sign a correct contract. This is what good lawyers and good management is about. It really is.
Buck Wiltz was evil human being.
And Howard Stern's show was not always called the Howard Stern Show, right?
No, it was not.
Probably back in regular radio. He was just, he was on NBC. Howard Stern on WNBC or, whatever it was called.
Well, by K-Rock, though, Buck Wolf had set it up as the Howard Stern show.
But he was at the height of his powers, though. Right, Dennis? I mean, he was really at the height of his powers, Howard.
Absolutely. Because they were thirsty for something at that point.
It was new, it was different, and it's what they needed. David said, thank you so much. Howard thinks he's the most successful broadcaster in the same way he thinks he's a good father. They both came down to either making money or for everything for the kids. Yeah, you know what? There are so many men like him. I know so many men like him that, money's
the only metric.
What makes everything better.
But you know what, Monique? In that clip you just played, he never actually brings money up. He's implying it, but he doesn't talk about money because he's afraid. It's
the emotional Band-Aid for wealthy men. Every problem in life can be solved with
throwing money at the problem.
Throwing money at it.
Listen, I know men like him, and I know that that's the way they are. Like, you throw money at things, and that's the way it works. All right.
Wait, we have David right. Why didn't we ask David? He's worked with both Jack Benny and Orson Welles. We could have asked him what they made. He's right here, the source.
I always thought he worked with Fatty Arbuckle, but I guess
he got a hit too. You nailed it. Him too.
That was the
start, Fatty.
Yeah.
That was the start, Fatty Arbuckle.
Right. So this was kind of curious. So he starts talking about TV shows that I know, Chuck is fun. You're exactly right. Kids don't give a shit about money. They want to know their parents prioritize them.
That's right.
Yeah, talk to them when they're 30 though, because then, this is where his kids are at right now.
Yeah.
I think if you grow up with that, then you know that your father's love is driven by financial success, financial wherewithal.
I love you too,
so that's the way he works. All right. So let's move on just a snurch. and let's go to him talking about shows he wants to watch, and then
it's crazy. But I'm watching. Remember
Ralph
the woman who
List.
used to be on Saturday Night Live, Adie Bryant?
Okay,
No.
show of hands. Who the fuck is Adie Bryant?
She's the Chris Farley, female Chris Farley.
No, she's not even.
Doppelganger.
Please don't insult Chris Farley.
No, I know, but I'm saying they tried to play her that way. They tried to.
Right. So I've
She
never.
does pratfalls and screams.
Benjamin's like, oh look, Robin, it's Mary Pickford, America's sweetheart.
Wow.
Oh my god, that's so funny. That's so funny. Good
Wait,
one.
Monique, before you play this clip, I assume Howard's going to fat shame her, right? It's coming up.
Oh, of course not. But of course,
no,
Robin's
so it's
gonna
more
chime
like
in.
his friend, okay.
Let me rewind a little bit. Let's go.
To be on Saturday Night Live, Adie Bryant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching it. It's called Shrill. You might like it. I like it very much. Shrill.
I will have to take a look. I like 80.
But the show that I'm really fucking obsessed with, and someone who works with us recommended this show to me maybe over 7 years ago.
7 years.
And I don't know. I ignored the recommendation. I bet you've already seen this show, but I love it. I'm watching it. There's 3 seasons of it on, I want to say Paramount Plus.
Oh, you want to say fucking Paramount Plus? You want to say that?
Wait.
Because not 5 seconds later comes this.
Fred once went to McDonald's and didn't come home for 6 months. You know that story. So he beats that guy. Let me tell you about Paramount Plus. They're up to some great stuff.
Imagine that. I pointed this out.
Oh, a commercial. See? Okay, let's talk about, I think, this show that I really, really love. What was it? It was something stupid. I actually have it on that clip.
It's crazy.
Let me just
3
go there.
seasons of it on.
Let me hang on.
I
I'm
want to
sorry.
say Paramount Plus.
Yeah, you want to say?
I
What's
think
it
it's on
called?
Paramount Plus. Penny Dreadful.
Penny Dreadful.
Penny Dreadful. Show of hands. Who's actually watching this?
So bad.
I think it's on Paramount.
Yeah,
Plus.
what's the move, Monique? You pretend you don't quite know the network, so you're not reading it in front of you. And I'm
So
not
he did a hidden
sure, but-
commercial, and then he did a commercial.
Yes, this was like 5-10 minutes later. Of course,
Yeah.
like
A show no one watches.
right, all right.
No
His
one
live
watches.
reads are masterful.
Because you told me 7 years ago that I should watch it. I never fucking gave a
Jan
shit.
Hine.
Now that you're
Jan
paying
Hine
me to
told me.
watch it, then yeah,
Yeah.
of course I'm gonna maybe throw in something about it. Yeah, okay, and then and then they say this stupidity with Jeremy Renner.
Season 2 of the Paramount Plus original drama series, Mayor of Kingstown. I'm going to watch this.
I do love
Sure
that
you are.
show.
Sure you are. He's not
It's
gonna watch it.
Too much testosterone for him. There's no way he's watching it.
Too much
No
stink-
way.
Not
He's
enough
too
gay
masculine.
Yeah.
No
Yes,
trannies.
It looks really good. And
Yes.
Jeremy Renner is recovering from.
Oh, I'm
Wait,
sorry, Beanie Mac.
Don't stop that. Play that through. Play
Oh.
that through.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
They're good. 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 They
Don't think
are
I couldn't
very
save this
good.
one.
They're good. 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 Good.
That's
So
the Marcy
are
Turner.
you gonna play the
Jeremy
finish?
Renner? Yes, I am.
Season 2 of the Paramount Plus original drama series, Mayor of Kingstown. I'm going to watch this.
Yes, it looks really good.
Sure it
And
does.
Jeremy Renner is recovering from a snowmobile accident.
No!
You heard about
No!
that, right?
Yeah, I heard about it. The story
His-
follows.
But did you hear Howard?
No.
Yeah, I
You
heard about
heard
that.
about
Yeah, I
that,
heard about
right?
that.
Yeah,
Hang
yeah.
on,
I
there's
heard
more.
about it.
There's
The
more.
story
His-
follows.
What a Hollywood insider.
You know, ran over him.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
Okay.
You know, Fred once ran himself over with his own car.
Oh, that tired Fred joke we throws Fred into.
Yeah, he had a brain injury. It was terrible. Yeah, I know. I read about Jeremy Renner. He went on a snowmobile and ran himself over.
No, that's not the story.
That's not what happened.
Right.
Jeremy Renner got run over by a snowplow. He was helping somebody, and the snowplow hit him. That is what happened. Not a snowmobile. You
How
two
dare he
fucking
help someone out,
imbeciles.
Dennis? And
Don't
live
give
his
me,
life.
motherfucker. I'm not-
How
I'm
dare
not
Jeremy
doing-
Renner help someone out? The kindness.
Dare
Living
you.
his
No.
life.
So
See what
Jeremy
happened?
Renner
No good
lives
happens
like
to you
out
when
in
you
the
help someone.
woods, and there's lots of snow, and he owns a lot of really, really heavy like snow equipment. Like
Yeah.
he digs it. I mean, that's his thing. So okay, you know, but he got crushed. He literally got crushed.
Yeah, it's actually amazing that he's alive. I mean, he got run over by a snowplow. Not just hit, run over.
Do you want to talk to this midlife crisis guy? Arm is my boy. Please say that no one is more liberal than him while dropping a effing F word.
Well, I move the Young Turks goalpost around as I see fit. Midlife crisis.
He is everybody's drinking coach, so just consider that when you talk.
Wait,
about
Mr. D, a commercial snowplow, which Foggy Stern doesn't know the difference from a snow.
No, none of them do. They don't pay attention to each other. Mo, any chance of a Saturday night gunk this week? Maybe we can do that. I'd be okay with doing something.
I might be. I have a parade Saturday. I might be available.
I'm getting a lot of requests from people in the Deppening that want you guys to do a Epstein thing, a Jeffrey Epstein thing.
Who wants to do an Epstein? Oh,
Everybody's asking you to do Jeffrey Epstein. I get emails all the time. Everybody in the Deppening comments want you to do a Jeffrey Epstein deep dive.
Oh,
everybody
do that.
I think that's. I think you know the area too.
Light.
I think you're important because you know New York really well. And
yeah, but I was never that little Twinkie girl who would be picked up by somebody like that.
So, like Epstein's just like Christmas lights; they don't hang themselves.
So I could do a Saturday night gunk. Yeah, I'll figure something out. And well, do we have guests? I got to think about it.
It's Gasparilla Children's.
Yeah,
I'll just do something. I'll just come on and blather for a little while. All right. Then he started talking about going on to Daily Mail to check out Maren Morris, right? So there was
what I'll do is I'll Google Maren Morris and then go to her images. But I'd never seen her in a bikini before. And what they do so effectively on the Daily Mail, they wait for you to turn around, so they get your ass, they get your legs, they get everything.
Oh,
so
they give you a 360, so
Right.
you can see the whole.
Right. So this is what he was looking at. This is so not his type of girl.
Wow, she's a bit chunky.
Well, okay. Like in the real scheme of the world, she's just normal.
She's normal, but in his world, that's chunky.
She's normal though, Dennis.
I understand, but I'm talking in Howard's world.
Howard, that's what I'm saying. There is no way
Howard,
he ever find this
Robin should lose
attractive.
about 5 pounds or maybe 15.
Yeah, this is not his kind of girl.
Not at all.
No,
because
not
she's
at all.
normal. So to him, this is she might as well just be.
She's not a beard. It's what a
She might as well just
heterosexual
be
would do.
Lizzo, for fuck's sake. Because that's how he sees women.
You know what's funny though is that his Mado wife,
blonde,
is
fake
not
tits,
in.
white.
That's not even a word that rolls off the tongue, Dennis.
What, a Mado?
Yes, that's a roll off the
The
tongue.
Mado wife is never seen in a bikini that small. It's in one piece. It's in a one piece usually. The Mado.
No, don't you remember that all important? Oh my God, she looks like she's only like 15.
Yes, I got it right.
Beth Stern, Mexico, was it?
How many years ago is this?
Don't you remember this picture of her smoking hot bikini vacation photo?
She's good. She's good. She's good. She's good.
That looks so unsexual. It's not funny.
They're good.
Can you put Marion Morris back on because that actually is sexual?
Very
No, I lost her already.
They're good.
Because that is the opposite of sexual.
She does look asexual in that, Dennis. I agree. Sexless.
There's nothing sexy about that
Jennifer
at all.
Aniston, completely sexless.
Yep.
Completely sexless.
Okay, wait, I want to go on. So let me go to Jeremy Renner, Maren Morris. This was weird. This was like just a really weird. Oh, since we're doing the commercials, let me do today's Tommy John commercial because if it's not as stupid as they're good, it's stupid enough. Here we go.
This is bad.
And what about
Tommy John?
Tommy John. Tommy John. Tommy John.
I had to play this. I'm sorry.
Tommy John.
Sing it, sing it, sing it. Sing about Tommy John.
I'll take it from here.
What highbrow copy from that copyright team writing them that commercial,
Can you
right?
imagine
That's
paying
good
like
stuff.
tens of thousands of dollars for
I
him
can't.
to do a live
And
read?
I can't.
that's what you get.
And this is the shit that you get from him. I mean, yeah, Affy, you speak for all of us when you say I'm speechless again. You really do.
I heard that live, and I just walked away.
I know, Benjamin. That's such a good point. You want to go out and buy underwear advertised by a 70-year-old grandpa wig.
Oh.
No, it's what a perfect spokesman.
Oh, it's so true. And you're right. You're so right, Josh Foster. Robin pretending to laugh actually makes it worse.
It really
So true.
does.
It's really pathetic. Okay, just wanted to throw that out to you.
That was really horrible.
So let's move on to his dad, which was just a really weird comment that he made today.
You know what's weird? I still think my dad's alive, like in a weird way, because we didn't really ever talk that much.
Oh God!
So it's like when I'm like kind of just walking around and stuff, I go, "Oh, that's right, my dad died."
Right.
Wow, could you be more psychotic?
During the fake FCC battle, Dennis, with John Kerry and it was really basically an infomercial to go to Sirius that the FCC's after me. How many times did he start to show off with, I was speaking to my dad about the Bush administration?
Almost every day.
Every fucking day.
Literally, I mean, his dad would, especially during that time, he would talk about talking to him, and then he would actually be on the air.
His dad was his go-to. His dad was his sage. His dad was his go-to.
Yes.
My dad was my go-to for all things like politics and things I would want to talk about when
He's saying he doesn't talk to him.
John, you could go back and probably find
Dennis,
hundreds
hours
of times where Howard was talking about radio with his father on the air. Not even saying about it. He was talking to him.
There were weeks where Howard spoke to his father on the radio than I did my dad, and we were in the same house. And we have a good relationship. And it was a decent relationship. But that's how little. I mean, Dennis is right. Every day, Monique, during that time. I mean, that's just one of the.
Especially during the 90s. Ben was on a lot.
How do you not have parents who love you and indulge you by coming on the radio with you, by indulging your need to hear about some topic of conversation? How much do your parents love you?
That's right. I know.
Most
they love the wig immensely, obviously.
I hate when he talks like this. Like it's so ridiculous.
It's angering. This part is actually the most angering part of the entire show. The whitewashing on Ben is really upsetting because we actually have audio showing that it's not true.
I know it's patently not true, but is it any worse than Robin accusing her father of abuse when he was?
Yes, in a way, it kind of is.
But it's so much more horrible to say that about your dad. It really is.
It's the posthumous smear campaign. He doesn't have other siblings pushing back. I say this all the time. Could you imagine he had brothers that actually kind of like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Dad's great.
Why doesn't his sister
spoil the shit? He says, Ellen.
She's on the payroll.
She's 112.
She's 112.
Pension plan.
Her entire pension relies on 112.
And she acts like he doesn't. He acts like she doesn't exist.
Exactly.
It's just ridiculous to me.
It's sad.
Right, I'm gonna move on a little bit. So then they started to talk about people that had died. I need to move on a little bit more quickly now.
Two of them.
It's already 10:53. Right. So they did Lisa Marie Presley. I didn't really play too much of that. I didn't clip
Jeff
it.
Beck and Lisa Marie Presley. That was it. That's all I talk about.
Part of it, which is really more in Howard's wheelhouse, because one would think that he would know something about Jeff Beck.
Yeah.
So obviously they talked about it behind the scenes, and Robin says this. Of two stupidity things that Robin said.
But he was considered one of the greatest guitar players. I didn't really know a lot about Jeff Beck. I mean, now that he's dead, I know some more about him. But I know I used to
listening to him.
I spent the morning listening to him.
He's a guitarist. He doesn't sing.
This is how she preps for the show. Just I don't know if you caught that little nuance.
He did.
I spent the morning listening to Jeff Beck.
No news. That's all she's got to do, Monique.
That's right. Hang
The
on.
highest paid newswoman with no news.
Exactly.
I
know I
spent the
used
morning
to.
listening to him because I wasn't really familiar with his music. I know there's some that's really recognizable, but I had to, sort of go back and associate the man with the sound.
Oh,
Can someone tase Fred? Where is he in this conversation? Is he supposed to be
coming
Mr.
up right
Guitar
now.
Hero?
So then
Jesus
Robin comes out with
Christ.
this stupidity of stupendous proportions, and Fred finally chimes in. Here we go.
I knew about Jeff Beck because he was in the Yardbirds. I knew what the Yardbirds were. That was Jeff Beck and Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin. They all had a band together.
No, they didn't.
Rod
Yeah, they
Wood
did.
was in that band at one
No, he
point.
wasn't.
No, he
I
wasn't.
think.
Was he?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not the Yardbirds.
Anyway, not the Yardbirds,
who
right?
was the Rolling Stone that was in that band?
None.
No. What do you mean? The
No,
Rolling Stones were in the
Rolling
Rolling
Stone
Stones.
was your.
But,
But there was somebody in the Rolling Stones who was
No,
in the band.
no, it wasn't. You idiot.
you're going to stick with that, or are you going to?
I
Eric
am
Clapton
because
was
I
in
did
there.
a lot of
Not a Rolling
reading
Stone.
about him. I was just like you. I really had no idea of who he
All
was.
right.
Yeah, you're wrong, Robin.
The story goes the Rolling Stones made Jeff Beck an offer apparently to join the band at some point. By the way, Bon Jovi does a great job. He gives a Jeff Beck homage on the Deppening last Friday. It's a long. He's a complete aficionado.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, because Bon Jovi likes going on your show. He likes to just kind of he just likes to troll my show, and he loves to go on your show.
Exactly.
The Yardbirds, Jeff
but-
Beck, Jimmy Page, Chris Dreja,
Eric
Keith
Clapton.
Grace, and Jim McCarthy.
Okay.
Eric Clapton was in there also.
This is original Yardbirds. This
Well,
is
he was the ultimate free agent, Monique, like Beck. He would just kind of do his own thing. He wouldn't commit to joining a band and stuff. And he's a guitarist. He's one of those guys that only the real musicians know him. Apparently, he's on the level of like Jimi Hendrix. They all
No, he was quite a great guitarist. He actually had one thing called Beck's Bolero. He actually played the Bolero with an electric guitar. It's phenomenal. Actually, Clapton I think it was Clapton played it later on. That copied his playing of it. It was very, very good.
Music Stream says
So
he's Jeff Beck's
Clapton was
number
in the
one.
band in the 60s, and the Clapton lineup, as it's called, recorded 2 singles, I Wish You Would and Good Morning Schoolgirl, before the band scored its first major hit with For Your Love. For Your Love.
For Your Love. Yeah.
For Your Love. For Your
Love.
Okay, so
Rob is an idiot. I mean, seriously.
That's pretty much all I wanted to get to here. So then at around 9:35, 9:40, I'm sorry.
But wait. Let me stop for a second. Gina Lola Brigida died over the weekend. Not a mention from the Wig.
Babe.
I understand, but
she died too soon. He didn't have time to have
Wikipedia
put together a package for him so that he could talk about her.
She was a major sex symbol, a major Italian sex symbol in the 50s and 60s.
To who? Not us. To who?
That's a Pat Cooper sex symbol, Monique.
That's the Wayback Machine, Dennis.
But I mean, she still was.
To David and Pat
Everybody
Cooper,
knows she is.
It's the Wayback Machine, and I only know her from like the Flintstones and the Jetsons.
Yes, that was a popular reference back then. Yes,
understandable, but still a major death. Literally a major death. Completely just not ignored, just not there.
You gotta pick and choose your spots, and just gotta
I
go.
understand, but
David used to go to the Brown Derby with her in L.A.
I mean, it's not like having Dan Rather on or something like that. That all the cool kids understand. You have to know that by this point. Sorry, Beck was much more influential to other guitarists than Hendrix. Fact.
Well, it's arbitrary.
Well, yeah, because Hendrix's style actually died out with him.
Yeah.
Beck's style kind of continued on because Hendrix had a style that no one can actually copy. So if you really think about it,
is it my Pac-Man that's distracting, or is it my here? What if I shut Pac-Man off? How about that?
Is it your award like mine?
Why don't I shut Pac-Man off and Coach? I'll do one better, and I will shut off the lights. Oh, my blanket is covering you.
If you were Jeff Beck, Dennis, wouldn't you rather be a lone wolf free agent and kind of drop in and do this and that, get all the respect everybody else has, than join a band and be locked into a tour for months?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
he did the right thing because he was able to make a name for himself without having to be stuck in a band that may have a couple bad records.
It's really a masterful thing. You couldn't get away with that anymore, to be like a lone wolf guitarist
not.
today.
No,
you can't do that anymore.
Not anymore.
Sorry, I just shut every single light in my place.
Now you're sitting in the dark. We can't see you.
I know, it's a little much. Okay. Sorry. Put my light back on. All right.
We can see 83% of you.
Oh my God, for the love of God, let me move on. So at 9:35-ish, it's 9:40, he says
9:48, actually. I remember
this. Well, maybe I'll leave you with this.
Leave you with
Fuck
this.
You.
We've done a lot of show today, and I'm freezing.
A lot of
for some reason, my air conditioning is working very well today, and I'm sitting here frozen, and I have a toothache. I was telling Robin during the commercials.
So I started recording that, and I was like, you know what? I don't really give a shit about your toothache. Like, I don't really care about anything that.
Dennis,
I'm just looking at somebody. I can only see your eyes.
Monique, how is that possible? Doesn't he have his teeth cleaned like every 2 weeks, just like he has a colonoscopy every 2 weeks and physicals and stuff, and he doesn't eat anything? How do you have a toothache? From what?
I don't know. I think it's those eating gums as you get older.
Fake teeth. Yeah, the chicken teeth.
Just consider Howard Stern to be like a Great Dane. You know, they're gigantic dogs. They don't live that long. They have hip problems. They have all sorts of different stuff due to overbreeding. And Howard is like a Great Dane. He will not survive that long.
And 70 people working on keeping him alive every day on a daily basis. Private MD. The David goes, he has a cap ache. That's exactly right.
I think his gums are receding. And so, so Robin went into a whole conversation about why don't you use Sensodyne? And some callers called in about toothaches and maybe he's grinding his teeth. And then he said he wears a mouth guard. So it's not that. Blah, 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 blah. So God knows if he has to actually go to a dentist while he remains in Florida for the next 5.5 months.
He has a rotation of physical ailments he makes up, by the way. So I don't believe this necessarily.
The old man issue. It's getting even worse.
Yep.
How many times have you been in the presence of like your parents or something like that, and they're with their friends? All they fucking talk about
hypochondriac
who died, who's sick, who had
what medication they're on.
What medication they're on. It's just the way it is. It's just
he went on for 29 minutes after announcing that he had enough show.
Yes.
And it was time to leave.
Yes.
29 minutes of excruciating nonsense.
Oh my God, it was worse.
He actually asked Robin, "How was your weekend?"
I got that
at the end.
Let me. I'm wrapping up. I'm going to get to there. But before he did that, he spent about 40 minutes with a game show, a radio talk show that they made up with not Judge Judy, with
Judge Janine. It was the most atrocious fucking radio ever.
Oh, it was horrible.
Oh my God, it didn't even sound like her. Oh my God.
It was horrible. It was actually horrible. Horrible, horrible. David says, can you imagine a year from now, all we're going to hear about is hip replacements and miracle ear? Yeah, my God. It's Sensodyne talk was cutting edge radio, but it went on like this. This is what the show is like. Okay, so after that, oh my God, horrible caller. And he had to take this call because he needed some sort of validation for his life's work. And this person absolutely hit the
But
nail
I
on
wanted
the
to
head.
tell you, you're not your gold standard, and gold standard doesn't even do justice. The reason why they do podcasts because of you. They all copy you, man.
Right. They do podcasts because of you.
God damn.
Sports broadcasters, they always refer to you guys some
Sportcasters all refer to you.
way or another. TV shows always mention something about your show, or
TV shows all mention you.
Some line or some character about you. The way that you've affected everything, like media, is like you're not just there's nothing higher than you, bro.
Sounds like a back office guy. That voice
had to get that guy in.
100% fake.
Yep. Very suspicious voice.
Jesus
kept trying to place it.
What chronic masturbating mouth breather is this? Oh my God, that's so funny. So yeah, so he had to get that in because he needed that validation. You know, he needs that. Oh my God, you're the most amazing person who has ever existed. Because everything that has to do with podcasting, sports, and TV,
yes,
is because of you. Is because of you. So here he is again. It's probably around 10 to 10 at this point. He's finished with his Judge Janine horrible bit, which I will not play because it was just this
By
awful.
the way, can I say what you think? Judge Janine, that's stolen from Saturday Night Live. Isn't that a Cecily
Yeah.
Strong sketch?
Yes.
It's completely stolen from Saturday Night Live. Benjamin writes, I've never heard of any podcast that's as boring as a Stern Show. Yes, Benjamin. And I believe it was the great Tiger Lily. It says this. Try packaging this Stern Show. Let's say take away his fame. Take this show, package it, and try to sell it to a podcasting company and see what will happen to you as a no-name. It's the worst material in the world. It's not a show. It's crap. Hot garbage.
I would be really embarrassed if at 71 years old, when he has to re-sign a contract, that somebody like some podcast group comes to him and gives him like $100 million to do it. I would not listen to it. I would vehemently be against it. Like
his only bidding thing is Sirius. No one else is coming. Everybody else knows that there's nothing there. No.
Well,
nothing.
They're hiring for the name.
Well, but
what's the name worth?
You hired
No,
him.
I know. Well, that's what you're basing it on because it ain't about the material.
Have to hire his 70 people for him to be able. Those are his crutches. That's that's his walker with the 2 fucking tennis balls on the front.
Right.
These 70 fucking people. That's what he needs.
No, it is.
In order to lift him up and be the semblance of a human being anymore.
You guys remember the days of the ISDN line promise he made on the one of the many lies coming to Sirius?
Drop in anytime.
Never happened.
I have no rules.
Anytime.
I have 2 channels. He can't do that because what Monique said is spot on. He can't have those people dotting the I's, or he's too stupid to do anything on his own and afraid.
Yeah.
To just pop the mics on and randomly talk. Everything's so calculated, so sterilized. He can't do that.
Every curl is manufactured.
that's clips
right,
on.
So let's listen to this one last clip, and this is Killing Time with Robin. So can you even imagine that this is how bored he is at 10 to 10, that this is what he asks to Robin? There we go.
Lot to living.
Yeah. Lot to living. Did you have a good weekend?
Really?
Oh my God.
I didn't do much.
Did you have a good weekend?
Which noise?
Let's listen. Quiet down for 1 second.
What chemistry these two have, huh?
You want to hear something weird?
This is me and John before we came on air too. By the way.
In the microphones, in the sound of the show.
No, in my head. You can't hear what's in my head?
Do you hear it now?
Yeah, I just heard a little
This is
noise,
how
but
they
it's not a big deal.
10 to
I don't
10.
care.
All right.
Hey, but anyway, so you said you had a good weekend. What did you do?
I watched a couple of movies. I'm into my whole wellness kick, so I made sure to stay on my routine of getting exercise and meditating and, doing all the things I'm supposed to do.
Wow, this is
Yes, everyone. He just got $4,000 for that repartee. That was 1 minute. $4,000.
So my last 2 clips are really, really quick, but I just found it really, really interesting that 2 people, one after the other, would say this. So first a trucker calls in.
Well,
and says
it's
this.
going okay. I mean, I wish your phone was a little better. I have a feeling
I'm a truck driver. I'm a truck driver right now, so I'm gonna pull over. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna pull over. I know that.
All right. We have nothing but time. Go ahead, JC.
Yeah, because old trucks pull over like exactly.
Yeah,
You do have nothing but time.
18-wheelers pull right over. No problem at all. It's easy as pie to pull an 18-wheeler over. No
And that guy pulling over is more entertaining than anything coming out of his mouth.
Totally
followed by the next call, which curiously did the exact same
I'm
thing.
so excited to talk to you again. The last time, let me pull over. I'm just getting off work again.
Pull over. Sure.
After a 12-hour shift.
Oh, wow. Good for you. I'm so glad you worked a 12-hour shift.
Yeah, because she deals with like retards. It's
Retards.
okay. She
Yeah, let
doesn't
me pull over.
retards. These 2 calls made me like beyond angry. I honest to God.
I know.
Fucking ridiculous. I mean, could you at least make the fake phone calls better?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they're fake. I think they're just
they're fake.
stupid.
112% they're
But
fake.
why do you say that when we proved that girl called in and you said she was fake?
Some are fake,
She
Monique.
actually
not
was
all
fake because she really wasn't what she was. She lied. But these are fake.
I can't argue with you guys enough about this.
I have found clips of
we have
Shuli.
ever interviewed has said that most of these calls are real. They just steer them in the right direction for what conversation.
Have you seen an 18-wheeler pull over?
I don't care. I'm just telling you that we have had so many people on.
You don't just fucking pull it on the side of the road and stop. That's a lot of work.
I think some are fake, without a doubt.
But
these two were absolutely
you have
fake.
been with me on this show since day one. Has there ever been a person who has come on that said, yes, these calls are fake? Ever?
Well, they don't want to make them look like they work for a charlatan,
John,
right? It makes I have a clip from you of Shuli putting on a bad Southern accent, calling in as a regular fake caller. It's proven. That's absolutely him. Some of it's fake. I'm not saying all of it.
Large Marge calling in multiple times. That's different people.
She's just a caller.
Large Marge.
But you admitted to that, Monique, that she was fake. The Large Marge Dennis is talking
Large
about.
Marge is fake. This last woman is fake.
They're not all fake. Some of them are. They intersplice fake.
I am just going by empirical evidence. We have asked every single person who used to work on this show the same question. We have asked every one of them. Do the callers that call in, are the callers set up? Are they fake? Every single person has said no.
I had a clip of Sal calling his Monique, if you worked for a charlatan, would you admit that you wasted your life in the last 10 years working for a guy with fake material like that?
Remember the old joke we have.
Call. I understand the back office calls, but I think that for a huge portion of these people, they just want to get on air. They want to be on air. Yes, some of them are set up. Yes, some of them have fucking Instagram accounts where they're showing their
the old joke
and they want to talk about threesomes. I get that.
Remember the old joke about this is what truckers want to listen to. Of course, a fake trucker would call in who's not in a truck, who cannot be pulling off to the side of the road, because you just don't pull an 18-wheeler off to the side of the road. It just doesn't happen that way.
Right.
Literally, you can't.
I mean, I don't know.
That was utterly 112%.
I played the clip because I wanted you guys to hear it. I'm not going to die on the fucking hill of people pulling over. I don't care that much.
But that's part of the fakeness
I don't
of
know
the call.
that they really are all that much that fake. I think, like Gat Girl, she puts on something where it's something that you know is going to tweak Howard or something he's interested in talking about. Coach, I understand what everybody is saying, but anybody who has ever listened to anybody who has ever been on the show, not a single human being has ever said that these calls are fake. And Dennis seems to think all of them are fake.
Most
don't think that they
not all.
are.
Most are fake.
All right, you guys don't have to believe. I want to believe. I want to believe.
Most are fake. Actually, most are fake, and you could tell when they play along with him and it's all set up. It's fake.
All right.
When they play into his ego and when they really set up what he wants to talk about, it's fake.
I wanna feel the sun, have barbecues. I wanna see my friends, the old and new. We'll turn on the game and share some laughs, and we'll play.
I needed a break.
They're so masculine.
That might have been your best yet.
So masculine.
Impromptu Boys in the Hamptons.
I just needed a break.
He literally was
yes, everyone.
Frothing over them.
That was real.
This morning.
Yes.
He was.
So the best brothers.
Oh my God, Drew show. Were you not here for our conspiracy theory show? We had the biggest. I think it's the only.
It was ugly.
It was
ugly. It was ugly.
Do we even have that? Is that show even up? Bon Jovi,
I hope
where
not.
are you?
I really do. I really hope it's not.
I hope it's not too. But I think we really got into it. We were just.
Johnny Bye-Bye's got it. You know that.
Oh my God! You know what? I'm going to put that up
Johnny
for us.
Bye-Bye.
I mean, I'm not going to listen to it myself because I can't listen back to that.
There you go, Frank Zen. D-Money.
The vitriol was strong. It was strong because I was trying. Everybody was so shit sure about what they were saying, but like nobody has empirical proof of this. So we just got into the hugest fights about so many stupid things. It was actually kind of silly. looking back on it, but at the time we got into it. We were pretty fucking big on
Richard,
it. Okay,
Dick
Frank,
Lucas Monique says
Frank, I
Mo's
always thought
naivete
you
is
had my side, and now we are no longer good. I cannot believe
because
that
Monique,
we are.
you've played fake calls and it was your idea to do it. You poked them out of the show with Dennis because you've admitted to it. I'm not saying all of them fake. I know they're not all fake. Some of them definitely are.
There's a couple real ones, but
You've
there's a
called
lot
it
of fake
countless
calls.
times. So how could it be?
That was years ago when it was real, when it was a way different show.
But now there's
years
so many
ago.
calls from Buckwald. I mean, it's just like, oh my god, they literally feed right into the script that he's talking about. I mean, I listened to the show in real time. Oh my god, you can hear when the call matches what his agenda is, and it just kind of flows in. It's like, really? And then Gat Girl comes out of left field, and you go, "Oh, that's Gat Girl."
Like, oh,
always
fake
have females
caller,
on,
fake caller
especially-
lesbian with a homosexual husband. And Get Girl had PM me. She said, "I guarantee you that." She's like, "I'm on hold right now. Guarantee you that Jackie Chair is going to come on and say I'm a fake call." I'm like, "Oh, of course he is. Of course he is." Yeah, they're
She
not
was so perfect. She
they're
played
not
right into it.
drunk. Leave me alone, you guys.
Rerun,
It's
baby.
called conspiracy. Exactly. That's why it's called conspiracy, because we can beg to differ with each other, and that's all there is to it. I just look at things a little bit more realistically, and I'm sure if Xavier was here, he'd be on your camp as well. But I just look at things a little bit more realistically than you two.
And Benjamin, no, Monique's dad was a freaking Gindaloon superior
Gindaloon.
that
He
knew
was a
everybody and
Guinea.
anybody because he was
the mayor.
Gindaloon
He was the
Gindaloon.
mayor. He was a Guinea's
He's the
Guinea.
mayor of Gindaloon.
Frank Zen is right, Monique. Opie and Anthony had a segment where they pointed out fake callers on the show. I remember that. It was really good.
No. I'm not going to say that they didn't have fake callers. I mean, but those are set up calls from people, right? Those are
back office is what we're saying.
Yes,
A lot of
I
back office calls.
agree
Lots.
1,000%. I just don't think that every call is a fucking fake call.
No, I didn't say everyone was. I didn't say everyone
90% of them are. Like, literally,
Honestly?
like somebody calling from Arkansas that sounds like they're from New York City. Yeah, that's a fake call.
So
Somebody
if
calls from
Tiger
the
Lily
South-
called in from Alabama, she's from Philly. Why would she sound like she's from Alabama? Come on.
Monique, you, if anybody,
You wouldn't
knows what a
sound like you're from New
lying,
York.
scheming huckster Howard is. Why would this be above board? Why would this be any different? He has to sanitize. He's in such a bubble. Why would this be any different? Why wouldn't he fake it? It'd be so easy to do. Everything he does is a lie. Just take that.
You hear the
Every
intern,
girl is
that guy
manufactured.
Chad say, yes, they will steer people into conversations that Howard wants to talk about. Didn't Chad say the calls
That's
weren't fake?
2005. He's talking about. That's when he was there. That's 17 years ago.
So because he's on Sirius, every call is fake now. All right, I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's already 2 hours and 11 minutes. We haven't even cleaned out the computer, which we're probably not going to get to, but I'll play one of them. So let's see what we have.
Fine.
I'm not even going to play the song for cleaning up the damn computer.
Can we please move this to tomorrow? Because there's some really good stuff in here.
I have
Howard
Joe Rogan
accusing Joe Rogan of
stealing
ripping him
from
off.
Howard.
There's gonna be nothing
One,
tomorrow. It's
two.
Stephen A. Smith tomorrow, so there's nothing to talk about.
So let's save this for tomorrow.
Please
I will
move
go
them
to
over.
sleep.
They're good. They're really good.
I'm keeping them
They're
on
good. They're
VLC.
good.
I'm
They're
keeping
good.
them
They're
on
good.
VLC so that we can talk about
Okay.
it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Drew Show. The New Orleans serial killer sounded like they were from Long Island, but Monique wants to believe that caller. Partial motive.
Like Gambit, Rodney.
Benjamin, knock knock. Oh look, Robin. It's my.
Oh look, it's Mo's Aunt Mom's maid.
This calls for another
I wanna
conspiracy
reconcile
show.
Howard straight, although I think that he just has really weird sexual tendencies.
Remember
I
how
think
much I had to convince you about the
Slight
hair
fangula.
thing? How long it took me?
the hair?
Years.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
fake hair. Took me
Absolutely.
years.
Yeah, but that's a perfect example. When
Yep.
you talk to people and you ask if the hair is fake, they tend to agree, yes, the hair is fake. So I can only go by people who have seen the hair in person, who have lived the hair, and then yes, okay, if you're all telling me
That
it's
hair's
fake,
fake.
gotta believe it's fake. I am with you 1,000%. But when most people that we talk to say the calls are not fake, then what am I to believe?
Yeah,
We
I know
didn't
what
work
you mean.
there. We don't work there.
But you got to admit, it
don't
taints their
know.
whole life, their occupation.
The
It taints
trucker
the entire time they had there.
pulling
Like they
over.
worked for a phony. Like what they did was fake radio. They don't want to admit that.
Oh, fuck you, Sam V. Fuck you.
They're good. They're good. They're good. They're good. They're good.
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 They're
Good.
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 They're good. They're good. They're good.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any further discussion at RadioGunk.com in the forum section. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at RadioGunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so you know when we're doing a new show. Thanks.